He's a cool guy.
I like him.
Yay.
Now,
we doing a flip? Did you already drag mine in?
Boom.
No, yo, another.
Oh, man.
Yo, double. Come on, monkey. I've been running hot in flips lately, just so you guys know. I got sevens.
Oh,
I see it. Carlos is a 10 there.
Oh, yes. King's full.
And a straight.
Come on, Hart.
10's full of trays.
10-3 looks like a full house so far.
I just hit a king, huh?
I'm drawing dead.
King or 10.
They're
live.
10's full 60s.
Oh my
Wow,
god.
what a slow roll. Who is this guy?
What a luck box.
Crap box.
Man, Carlos, that's some rundown.
I knew I shouldn't have come back to the stream.
Hey, you should cash out now.
Alright,
Slowly
thank
but
y'all.
surely.
Yeah, no one runs worse than Zach.
Top it up, top it up. Hey,
Alright,
Nick,
so
we're in the
this is
same
not,
seat.
this is not
Oh,
like...
yeah, it's the same seat. I ran bad with
Hey,
it.
Nick, I'm going to add 500.
Well, hold on, no.
And he's fucking with you.
It's also not
max
live
top
yet,
up.
even.
Auto top up button.
What a bully.
Auto top
We're
up.
allowed to wait for
We're waiting for RV.
Yeah.
And,
Never just a fun night. You know?
Auto top up.
Can't just have a fun night.
So this is an on?
Not yet.
Yeah, you guys can pull them back for
you can
now.
still play.
Sam's here. So just waiting on RV Phil. Pull what back? He left
I'm
the
saying
five,
this isn't live
he's still
Hey,
not.
Sam playing, no, Wolfgang's playing, not Sam.
Because we're waiting on the two people to show up.
5, 10, 20.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to TCH Live. My name is Derek. I will be your commentator tonight for tonight's stream. We got a special stream tonight. We got Wolfgang Poker joining us shortly, along with our regular Wednesday players here. I think RV Phil will be joining us as well.
Forget the Nick game, we should play the on-time game.
Yeah, no shit.
You were late, $100 bounty.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm down.
OFC there in the 2-seat. David, also known as Viddy, in the 3-seat.
Guys, I'm sorry.
Got Carlos in the 5, Danny, of course, in the 6. I'm sure y'all remember the commentary he did with me the other week. It was a lot of fun with him, and I hope y'all enjoyed his commentary. Got Brass Monkey in the 7-seat. So Sam's the other one? Mr. Delivery in the 8.
I thought it was Sam. Because he was
No,
walking
I think it's
towards-
Wolfgang.
Oh, okay.
Hope everyone's having a wonderful
He's on the thumbnail.
Wednesday. Happy hump day.
What'd you say?
Are you jealous?
I'm suited to the vlogger life.
I'm talking about
I can see
the
it.
225. You get seat
You
8.
got me on too much. I mean,
Be a poker and other things. Lifestyle.
thank you, sir.
Think about appreciation.
I got my first glory. Is that glory?
See who we got in the chat right now. A lot of our regulars are joining us early. Poker Monkey, Frank, David Valley,
A couple years ago.
Kicker Problems, Rena,
You're looking for a new car?
No, I bought a couple
Mo
recent
the
songs.
Cat. What's up, everyone?
Nice
See
poker.
Tammy in the chat as well. Hope everyone in the chat's having a wonderful Wednesday.
Then you gotta switch the viewer.
And ready for some exciting Wednesday action. We got 5-10 in the quarter, $5,000 buy-in with match to stack towards the, or whenever the stacks get deeper.
That one.
Yeah, you're right there. You're right there.
And sorry, I forgot to mention Zach in the 9 seat. And there he is, Wolfgang Poker, arriving here in the 4
Numbers
seat.
you want, David?
King.
King.
You guys should probably do it on the side, though, otherwise it'll mess up the
I know, we're not.
stack.
I see Ree in the chat says, at Derek, GG on Monday. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Must be rich. You don't even know what the buy-in is.
I know, right? Just shows right off the bat here, Ace King for Danny.
Yeah. It's okay.
Gonna come in for a 3-bet, I imagine.
He's like, what's the buy-in? 50K. Okay.
He's gonna put in the 3-bet here, but he's gonna be a little bit wary, I imagine,
for 5K,
on how Carlos plays this. You know, Carlos rarely,
I actually might be able to bust that.
typically likes to just limp pre-flop. So it has to know Carlos at least has something here. Will come Queen high.
Wolfgang, need someone to...
And Danny knows it's very likely to hit Carlos's range here, but he will continuation bet here with the Ace-King, as he probably should.
I mean, it's possible.
With a small sizing, I like the 350 here. He can use this sizing with all the strong hands and his weak hand as well.
I like to call it Big Bird.
Just yellow bird.
Yellow bird.
No, Big Bird is yellow. Big Bird is yellow. It's a big chip. It's the biggest chip in the room. Big Bird.
I don't know. It sounds goofy.
Sesame Street
I
kid.
made that in my garage this past weekend too.
3D.
I mean, if it works for you, I'm,
3D printer.
Queen on the turn. Can't be Danny's favorite card here. Brings in some backdoor spade possibilities, but This queen on the turn definitely favors Carlos's range quite a bit. Let's see if Carlos can turn his hand to a bluff here, and he will, looks like. Gonna fire about 1,300, it looks like. 1250, and what a play there from Carlos using his position. And that, you know, right there it shows the importance of playing in position.
I had one of them. That counts, right?
Real close with the
So is the Nick game officially started now?
Once everyone's getting dealt in.
Yeah, my big one. I like it.
Very nice hand there for Carlos, taking down one of the first pots of the night. Looks like OFC won the
Can
flip.
everyone see this here?
Yeah.
100?
Phil,
Yeah.
Phil, Nick game, $100. Got to share your hand.
We starting
Phil
now?
has no problem.
Starts now?
Yeah, it's 5K. It is 5K max power, right?
Yeah. 5K then match the stack.
Oh, you can match the stack.
Yeah, I think it's 55 at the
You can
moment.
match the stack.
Do you have ace king beat?
Ace queen.
You got ace queen?
I just queen. Ace king. Cooler. Probably take a second. I was dominated. Alright, if you have a good hand, I'll just
The flop, I would.
If you have a good hand, I'll just flat.
You got 5, right?
Yeah, I'm
I
was hoping you-
Because I need another one.
the nin pasty.
Give me 1 second. 1 second.
It's like I didn't realize they were going to be.
Oh, they're playing the Congress game with the nip button over there?
There's 2 tables.
The knit button is on officially, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're playing.
The knit game is on. Officially now, the knit game is on.
Maybe they're available.
25.
It might be the same person that made
Just in case, you know, anyone suspected we were chasing the Lodge's coattails.
We should have had the Nick thing going.
RV Phil here, making his appearance in the 1 seat.
That's a worthy point.
That's a worthy point.
Raised to 100. 100.
Actually, that's a, yeah, that's
I
a
hope
good
our viewers in the chat were able to watch him make his spin up from 5,000 to 40,000 the other week.
Thank you for the encouragement.
What a run for him.
That's a free roll.
I was on a mission today.
Brass Monkey gonna try to put some more money in the pot here with the pocket jacks. This delivery with the king queen. Could definitely come in here for the 4-bet, and it looks like he will. And we got action on this table. We're only on the 4th hand of the night, and we got action here. Zach with the 7s, wow. But definitely can't consider calling here.
Best 450 not going to be raised to 800.
This is just be a sick play here if he decides to go all in,
Oh,
but
350.
most likely gonna fold.
Or 450, well, either way. So,
Man, he wants to play this hand, but he's gonna let it go.
I think Steven knows the rules.
Don't see RV Phil folding a suited ace, but looks like he will.
800.
Biddy at the 9-8 suited, facing a 3-bet and a 4-bet. Pretty hand, but at the end of the day, it is just 9 high. He's here to put some money in here. He's here to gamble. I like to see that.
Love it. Love it.
Love the action here. Danny getting excited of all the action on the table. Let's see what the flop brings here. Comes ace, 5, 9, all clubs. What a terrible flop here for all these holdings. Biddy does flop second pair. Does check behind. Wow, and look at that. Right on the turn there for Viddy. Trip 9s. No reason to turn his hand on into a bluff on the flop. Facing a 3-bet and a 4-bet on an ace-high board. But now that he has trip 9s. And went from a bluff catcher to a value hand now, and you got 400 ahead of you here for Mr. Delivery. What does Viddy do here? You imagine a lot of the holdings that have an ace.
Nice hand.
Want to show it for this thing?
You got to show.
You don't have to show, but you'll keep the nip up.
Nice hand.
Yeah, I imagin a lot of the holdings
How
that
does he do it?
contain an ace would have fired at least
There's always a 9.
something on the flop.
There's always a 9. It worked. I call you, Tom.
Do the knit buttons effect.
You don't. I had pair.
I think I would have preferred it just to call there on the flop. Well, I guess there's Brass Monkey behind, so you don't want to invite him in. So I take that back.
It's 7.
Nice play there from Vidi. Say if it was heads up between delivery and Vidi, I think I would have preferred a call there just to keep some deliveries bluffs in his range.
I almost just ripped it on you.
The all in there definitely folds out
I really thought about it. Just to get it started.
I would have folded.
all those hands.
Book for the man of the night yet?
Not yet. I'm going to Vegas next week for a birthday party.
But if you put his opponent on a hand like ace king with the king of clubs, don't see how they're folding that.
I think I'm just going to play the man and call it a day.
On to the next hand here. RV Phil gonna limp in with the king 8 of hearts. And for those of you that don't know about this game, we are playing the nit game to start off this stream. Those red buttons in front of each player represent who are the remaining nits at the table. When you do win a hand, if you show your hand after you win the pot, you get to turn in your nit button to the dealer. Last person to have the nit button in front of them has to pay a $100 bounty to each player, so that's $800.
Not really. Similar to what it was. Is it like still going down or?
It's kind of flat. Been flat. Well, it was going down like crazy October, November, December. And then picked up a bunch January, February, and then it's going to kind of flat.
You optimistic, pessimistic about these hands?
I think you're about to see, you can mark me in this one, commercial building bank loan. All these banks that have a tower and it's, oh yeah!
Yeah, how do you get that?
Zach shows the 9 deuce there and gets to turn in the nit button. Only 7 players left with the nit button, looks like.
And they're,
Just because of stay-at-home work?
yeah, that and a lot of, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons, but the economy's slowing down too. They're gonna start letting people off, and then they got an interest
I don't think
rate
I can go to 5, 10, 25 now.
at like, they got an interest rate like say it was 4% on a floater. It's now 8. They're paying
So you didn't have a
double
7.
than what they were.
That's kind of what happened with SVB.
Exactly, but that every bank in the country has the same problem.
Yeah.
I mean, not your big 4, but besides them, even they have the same problem. I mean, they have.
Yeah, you have like 7 now?
You don't have to have exactly the max.
He's drooling over here. Jesus. You need a napkin?
It's never just a fun night of poker.
It's always fun.
Just a little under 7.
75. Raise.
I might just win that much in this hand.
Thank you. Put him in his place.
Yeah, he's gonna get it. Can't just let delivery just run this place anymore, you know?
Queen 10-6 on the flop here.
Check. Check.
Double gutted for OFC. RV Phil with a gut shot
You are?
to the better end of the straight.
You gonna go for the man?
Mr. Delivery just ace high, currently the best hand.
That's a good one.
150.
As you can see, RV Phil has a decent amount of equity here.
Too far.
1 over,
Really focused
backdoor
on
flush,
the
gut shot.
right now.
Definitely gonna make the call here.
Been busy.
Very busy. Yeah.
Nice.
We're signing
Imagine
up
OFC will call as well. He has backdoor hearts to go along with his double gutter.
What's that?
Do you have set hours?
No, I can work whenever I want. I wouldn't have taken it.
Jack
My
would
best
be
friend started it.
dangerous here.
So that's the only reason I'm working.
Boom, right on the turn, 7,
Best friend since like 3rd grade.
giving OFC,
And he's kind of like
I believe, the nuts.
coding.
He's here in town too?
No, he's just Connecticut. He used to work for Bridge.
What's up, Bill? How you doing?
Now giving
He's like,
RV Phil double gutted to go along with his 1 over. And now he's going to lead. He's going to lead for 250. And OFC, imagine they start to build the pot here. Trying to target a hand like 2 pair or a set. That might have slow played the flop. And if OFC raises here, I like a sizing pretty polar here. Just because there's just not much out there that he can represent. When we're representing a smaller range of holdings, you want to go more polar. So you can fit in some bluffs in their range there. But no, he's just going to make the call here, trying to invite delivery into the pot here. Looks like delivery will make the call here. Using that ace of clubs as a blocker there.
I'm going to be having on
Hoping that the club comes.
You don't have to jump in the
So he can
pool
turn his hand into a bluff.
now, so if you, I'll let you know.
10 of spades does pair.
It's gonna depend on the
The
weather.
board.
I think Cam Hayden, Moneymaker said.
But OFC should know that he,
Eddie.
he should know that he has the best hand a lot of the time here. Flush draws miss, straight draws miss, or bigger straight draws miss, like King Jack.
I just want you to ride shirt up there.
At this point, though, when that river card pairs the board with the 10, it makes it much less likely that someone could have a 10, though. So
1150.
there's a polar board.
Over under on how long it takes for them to comment on how nice he's dressed.
Oh, it's
already
been
happening.
Yeah.
Happened in the flip. Happened in the flip.
I actually haven't mentioned it yet, so
I think it was
I win.
premature.
Yeah.
Stephen looks very nice. Dressed for the occasion, it looks like.
1150,
Wow, look at
Joseph
this.
A. Bank.
Called 1150.
What? What's going on here?
3 tens.
Nice live.
Wait, what?
I'm in here.
I guess there was a misread on the hands here, because I guess OFC doesn't have a straight. I heard him announce 3 tens.
Could get out of here.
And I guess delivery had something else as well. Okay, I got a thumbs up from there from Tyler. Wow, all the hands are misread, I guess. Because obviously I don't think, if Mr. Delivery was going to play that hand there, he would have raised. Not just call with the ace-3 high. Oh, we'll never know what they had.
C8 is adding 2,000.
Well, what a hand there for OFC. And thank you to everyone tuning in here tonight, this fine Wednesday evening.
That's always a good attitude.
We got 5-10 and a quarter with special guest Wolfgang Poker in seat 4.
Raise to 100.
Brass Monkey gonna open up the action here into hijack with the 7-8 of club, 7-5 of clubs, excuse me.
So they knew when you scanned it.
It's actually gonna call on the bottom of the ace-9.
They had that,
Definitely
but
could
it's
consider
actually like, it got really
raise
tricky.
here. And Viddy here
Yeah, if it doesn't scan, he'll tell me.
in the straddle, excuse me, in the $25 blind. Raises the 400.
Plan, David?
And so great to have Viddy back here on the live stream. We haven't seen him play on our live stream for a while, but always brings a lot of action. Very solid player.
Probably shouldn't say that.
Been playing poker for a long time.
Yeah, it might be sensitive.
Look at this flop here. Second pair for Brass Monkey. I imagine we'll see at least a call from Brass Monkey and possibly a call from Zach having 2 overs backdoor diamonds. It's hard for Viddy's range to connect to this board that often. Can still have a lot of ace high, king high, but Zach will get out of the way. And wow, look at this. The nuts, excuse me, not the nuts, but top set here for Viddy. Effective nuts here. And checks, wow. What a check there from Viddy. You can expect Viddy to have a lot of ace-king, ace-queen in this spot, so Brass Monkey, I imagine, is betting here for protection against those holdings. Like king-queen high, ace-queen high, ace-king high. And Viddy knows this as well. It might just put the hammer here. Hoping that he's, getting it in here against another set. But we'll just make the call here and let Brass Monkey hang himself here. 9 of spades on the river. Complete brick. All the diamonds miss. Oh, excuse me. I didn't realize there was hearts on the board. But the hearts, any flush draw that was on the turn did brick off. And now Viddy here will lead out for value. Trying to target maybe another set or 2 pair holding.
1,700.
Very possible for Brass Monkey to have an overpair as well. He could have queens.
I actually
got rid of it.
That's why I told you to see it.
Nice in there for Viddy.
Messed up the play there.
Yeah, thank you.
If you lose your nit button and show it, then you get it back. I should just wake up with it.
In the big blind.
Makes up with it.
That's the easiest 500 from Taco. It's so dead in there.
I had a good hand.
I did.
Diamond in the window. I was like, let's fucking go.
Oh man, I hope you guys
Nick,
all
I might have
find
another
stacks trying to not lose 800.
How much?
Another 1,000.
I wouldn't.
The Nick game made me not 3-bet.
That's supposed to make
That's
you
yeah,
want
that's
to
not how it works.
Oh. I don't have what?
You see Hellmates win? U.S. Poker Association? U.S. Poker Open?
Raise to 200.
$200 raise here from RB Phil on the button.
Heads up and he hits a straight flush.
Trying to get rid of his nit button, I imagine.
Call 200.
What's the best offense? The best defense here, and we got two players here. We got Viddy here trying to defend the nit button here. Wolfgang can come along with the suit of the ace to the 7.
Good job.
Will come king 6-10. Open ender for Viddy. Pretty good flop for him. Nothing for Wolfgang. RB Phil with the betting lead. He will check behind. Turn's going to give Viddy second pair. Wolfgang the gut shot to the nuts. Viddy still open-ended.
Call 175. Heads up.
5 of spades, complete brick. Wolfgang here really want to get rid of his nit button. I imagine we'll try to go for it here.
Yeah.
Has the ace blocker to the nuts.
And like the main?
Yeah.
The main?
B man.
This past year?
2 to
21. Oh,
575.
I don't know.
Come on, David, defend that nip button.
Ace 7.
Yeah, buddy.
I like the math as it changes.
Viddy defends the nit button. Up to a 10K stack now after that pot. Love the heart there from Wolfgang. I think a larger sizing might have gotten it done.
This guy ever
Who knows though? Viddy was very determined there. He snap called that river bet. But in that spot there, having that ace of spades, or having that ace, you're blocking Broadway there. I like a more polar sizing. If you can find it.
97.
Get hands
10-5.
exactly like Viddy to fold. But I think the price was just too right there for Viddy to fold. A nice hand for him. I think we still have 6 players with their nit button, trying to avoid the $800 that they have to pay out, $100 each player.
Damn.
Ian in the chat says, I smashed the like button. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
He is. He always is.
The mics are on. Oh, no. I don't care. You're looking at the guy who really doesn't give a shit.
My give a shit bucket broke a long time
Man,
ago.
did you guys smell the breath of the guy over at table 9?
You up by Sean? Yeah, I smelled it. It's terrible.
Yeah. At let's see, at 6:19 p.m.
We got 5.
Some crazy
Yeah, yeah.
round of each game going on over there. Omaha and high-low. It's a big action.
Over there. Are you playing really? Speaking of snake breath.
I don't know how to play high-low.
I don't like it either.
It's 25, 50,
Do you know how to play
100.
high either?
Crazy game. Huh?
Do you know how to play high either?
yeah, barely.
The rules. The rules.
Yeah, I know the rules. Even the high-low, I know the rules.
Tell me you never played high?
It was a 4-bet against you.
All right, Carlos.
Just that.
Through the nip button.
Oh.
Boo.
Good job, Carlos.
What?
I'm happy for you.
It just cost me like $14.
You should actually eliminate ace king
More of that?
and 10s and above pocket pairs.
Did I play that wrong?
Then it's even more fun. See what I'm saying? No ace king, no jacks, no queens, no kings, no aces.
Thank you.
5 hands eliminated from the nit button game.
There was game of 4 ball.
It
Wasn't going. I've had kings 4 times today, and it turned out really terribly for me most of the time.
I was talking to Taka.
You probably had a better hand than I did.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you.
Because that's too easy.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Beautiful hand here for Brass Monkey with the Jack 10 suited. We'll make the raise.
No, don't qualify. Come on.
Just trying to set up so Sean wins it every time.
No. I just want to make it interesting.
No, just a tip.
Wait, damn, Sean, you already got rid of your... Oh, crap, and I'm on the hook for the extra 5.
Yeah, it's gone.
Sean never gets 10s up. He's like, whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. with those.
Is it only if one of you is last, or is it just?
Yeah. So basically, like if
Only-
I
only if you're
yeah.
the last
So
one.
if one of us was the loser,
Which
then we
the
would
chances are so slim.
Yeah, you know, it's
Replay.
right now. What? There's 5 buttons. 5 buttons left. It's a race. It's a race. I'm winning.
Oh man, Steven, I caught that reference, man. Rat Race,
5.
funny movie. Rest Monkey gonna have the range advantage here.
What you draw? Nip button down.
And swaps the flush draw. Does get rid of his knit button. 5 knit buttons left here.
The plot thickens.
Looks like we have
So I wouldn't have to
Phil,
pay, right? Because I get my 10 jack, not 10.
Wolfgang
Yeah,
Poker,
then you're good. Yeah.
Danny, and Mr. Delivery. Excuse me, 4 players left with their knit button.
Yeah,
10
flush draw.
jack, 10s and above.
And retroactive.
It's like that one
There's 100 viewers in the chat right now. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As you're hopping in, please hit that like button. Helps the channel out a bunch.
It's like, look,
Absolutely correct.
And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting that bell notification if you're enjoying our content.
Nothing within 3.
this hand definitely qualifies.
Hitting that bell notification, make sure you get notified every time we go live.
Four gapper and below
And
tap.
anytime we release new content on our YouTube channel. Zach here with the Pocket
I've pitched this to
Kings.
some people really like it, some people really don't, but I've got a variation of the 7 deuce game where I actually have it with me. It's a deck of like cards that just have written on them. They're blank cards and written
I
on them.
like
They're
the
a
aggression
weird
here from Wolfgang, using the King Queen.
It's like Jack deuce off.
Has significant
4 off.
blockers here.
And everyone gets dealt
Three
their own
bet on the
individual
button.
shit hand.
Danny probably
And
considering
if you
something
win
as well,
with,
but
like, your
decides
individual shit
against
hand,
it.
then it's
Zach
like a
with
7
real
deuce
hand
bet.
here.
But only you know what your special hand is.
It's called
Right.
Let Steven Win game.
No, I call it the garbage game.
I think I heard of that one.
I call it the garbage game.
Exactly, which is garbage.
Allow
Steven
me,
wins every time.
allow me to demonstrate. Actually,
One person gets the value, right? They get. You don't
So-
have to pay the table.
so it's the same as the 7 deuce game, but instead of
deck of
everyone
cards?
playing the 7 deuce,
Cards up
each
your
person
sleeve.
has their own individual shitty hand.
7,
Right, so like 9-3 off, 8-4 off, Jack 4 off, 7 deuce
Let me
off,
see it, let me
deuce
see it.
off.
I can't see the card.
There's a cheater over
Hand
there.
hand.
We just have a deck
So
of
each
cards
person picks
at a
random
card
one
game.
that only they know.
Oh shit, it's like this.
You see what I mean?
So you get one
So
card.
you would get one, no one else would know what it is, and then if you win a hand with that, you show everybody and you get a bounty.
They did that at
So the
a
flop,
place I used to play.
the flop and the turn.
They have it on the wall.
Oh
That's
no.
okay.
Zach putting in
Yeah,
the
so you
4
don't
bet
deal
and
with that
all
bet.
in
Yeah,
from
it's
Wolfgang
just-
for 4,000. We got a
It's like
call.
from a hat.
Oh, this is nice.
And Wolfgang's pretty much drawing dead here. Needs to flop trip queens or something.
If you want to play with that first one,
King Queen in trouble indeed, Ian. This is not looking good for Wolfgang. It looks like they're just going to one time.
Ask one song and one song only.
Ace on the flop, and Zach hates seeing that.
Thank you.
I actually like it. It's pretty cool.
Kings.
Wow. What a hand there for Zach. Taking down an $8,000 pot.
One of the high pocket pair on the stream. It's very rare for me.
Greg Bush in the chat says, need a way to graphically show who still has knit buttons for the viewers. That's a great point. And
Second ace, believe it or not. Second ace.
if we could find a way to do that, we will definitely try to do that. Thank you for the the suggestion, Greg.
Yeah. But they did it a little bit differently.
You're the taco.
You got to pick your
Still 4 players left with their knit button.
Taco is
RV Phil, Wolfgang Poker, Danny,
Should be random.
and Mr. Delivery. That's a great suggestion, Greg. Really appreciate your comments, and I'm open to all comments here in the live stream chat to help improve our live stream. So feel free to comment with us, ask any questions regarding our card room live stream or just poker in general.
So what's the worst hand of 7 deuce off?
My name is Derek. I'm one of the commentators here at TCH Live.
Is in there, like,
Everything's
I also work for
maybe
TCH
10
Dallas
all
as a
offsuit.
dual rate and dealer.
It's all offsuit. And like there's a few like 3 and 4 gappers. Like I think maybe 6-3 off is in there. So there are like some like really.
Pretty much
shitty
anytime you
hands.
come here to TCH Dallas, there's a very good chance you'll find me here, either playing, commentating, dealing, or flooring. Zach,
Yeah, it's not my
just
type of
taking
game,
down the
but-
King Queen, is going to raise the King Queen this time.
It's not my type of game.
I don't know. I feel like I could sell people.
Call 75. Let's go.
Make Danny keep that net button, baby.
Do it.
Terrible flop for the pocket threes. Zach, flopping second pair with a gut shot
100.
and a range advantage.
Like a 1K max drinking game. Have fun.
Oh yeah, it's like
Even 7-8
it's
suited
just like
is a
7-2
favorite
suited,
over
like
me,
it's
so.
you know, everyone pays $100.
That's also a good point from
Yeah,
Rena
like,
as
whatever
well.
amount,
We
yeah.
do have the physical knit buttons in front of the players that still have the knit
Still
button.
got 4 knit buttons out there.
But I do get Greg's
know,
point.
Daniel
It'd be
still
cool
alive.
to show some kind of graphic
tried, though.
on the graphics that show the cards players or the players' cards. Wow,
Phil
excuse
tried
me.
it with the $200 raise on the button, didn't work.
I saw that shit. I'm like, hell no.
We're plus 600.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, looks like I got a guest commentator joining me tonight.
Taco, your big one. Or biggest, whatever.
You're plus 25.
Okay.
In this pot. I should say minus 25.
Looks like one of our dealers here will be joining me in the booth tonight, Jonathan Winfield. Y'all might recognize him if you come play here during the evening. He typically deals around 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Plays a lot of PLO and very solid player, so very happy to have him in the booth with me tonight. But he's going to go run and grab a jacket because he didn't realize how cold it is in this booth here. And wow, look at this action we got here. A raise from OFC with the 5-4. A 3-bet from Wolfgang. Carlos going to call in the cutoff with the ace-4 suited. And Zach here sitting with ace-jack will come along as well. And wow, we're going to go with 4 ways of a flop here. Welcome to Texas.
6 feet 5. 6 something.
Almost 1,000 in the middle before the flop.
Yeah.
That plus 2.
Hey, Dave, why don't you change some out so we have some little stuff?
It's gonna go all.
It is going to come King 10
All right, no interesting
7.
action.
OFC with the flush draw. Zach
Withholding
with a
change.
gut shot and backdoor, not flush draw. Wolfgang with the backdoor flush draw as well with top pair. Backdoor clubs for Carlos.
400.
So everyone cashing, somewhat of a piece here.
Yeah, you're good.
I'll speak up a little bit.
No, it's fine. I just got
When did you become a dad?
Wolfgang going to go for 400
I've
here.
been hanging out with little kids lately, so I got a lot of good jokes.
400.
I don't know if I told you the chicken
I think Zach could comfortably make the call here, having that 1 over, gut shot, and backdoor hearts.
I love that.
Why did the brown chicken and brown cow cross the road? Brown chicken, brown cow.
I like the first one better.
I don't think little kids want to know about porn. But okay.
4-year-old taught me that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Especially like 70 stash.
All 400. 3 players?
She had much better delivery than I did, to be fair.
This is my
8
favorite
on
knock-
turn's going to
this is my
give
favorite knockout
Zach
joke.
double gutted
This is Bob.
along with his over.
Bob has no arms. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Not Bob.
I was going to say not Bob. I'm fantastic at dad jokes.
Maybe he's in his head.
That'd be a thud thud.
Yeah, he gets
If it was a foot, it'd be a
I'm
stomp
sure
stomp.
by now, how old is Bob? I'm
He's
sure by now he's
figured
adjusted.
it out.
You know he's a poker player. He needs the specific details, the variables,
Well, no, so
to make a decision here.
So you know in Casino Royale 007, like
That's
there's that scene where like the terrorists like break into the main bad guy's room and like one of them's got like a machete
It's been years since I've seen that.
and like he's like, I would cut off your hand for this betrayal, but you needed to make cards. I'm like, that's bullshit. I'm like, I've literally played Hold'em with a guy who had one hand. Yeah, like
I played with a guy who was quadriplegic and he had somebody with him and they played
That's what I'm
for him.
saying.
He just looked at the cards.
I'm like, you don't need 2 hands to play.
Bet of 1,100 here from Wolfgang.
What was his name? You know?
Matt Smith.
Relative blank on the turn. Jack 9 gets there.
It's considered the best bomb.
That would have been double gutted on the flop.
I think the last one was the best.
I like Golden.
But I think it's perfectly fine here to continue with the
Most recent one?
bet here with
I
King.
recently, I watched that like a couple years ago.
I was a kid when I shot.
Maybe trying to target a weaker king like King Jack. I mean, the only King Jack.
For season, that's the one I've seen.
I think
it doesn't
Skyfall's
hold up
probably
very well.
The first one or the second
No,
one?
it's kind of.
No, the one with Daniel
Still has a
Craig.
little bit
King
of
9 maybe.
To me, it's a
I mean,
little
it's been
cheesy.
years since I've seen it, so.
They consider it the best.
And then there were 3.
Let's see a river.
I like building and
I thought you
would call out there.
like a backdoor, and I'm running into a dead hand is why I folded.
What'd you fold?
Put a queen on the turn with the hard draw.
Wow.
Otherwise, I would not have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Skyfall, great soundtrack.
I haven't seen a lot of
Like say King Queen
So
of Hearts.
Skyfall
you
came
know,
out
something
around like the
that.
time, it was like my first year out of high school, like right
King
around
Jack.
Appreciate everyone tuning in this evening. Welcome to TCH Live. We got 5-10 in the quarter with all your favorite Dallas players.
there. And,
Special guest
like, we
Wolfgang
would do events
Poker.
and stuff there, so we had like a big sound system and stuff. And a bunch of us at one point like bought
I got
those guns.
John Winfield here
So
joining me in the
we'd set
booth
up a
right now.
sound system in this like old church building. We'd
Oh,
turn
wow.
off all the lights.
Put the
We'd play the
soundtrack on?
Skyfall
Yeah.
soundtrack, and then we'd play laser
What's
tag.
going on?
So it's
How's it going, John? You have a good shift?
Yeah,
It's
the
going
opening
well.
of that
Yeah, I actually cut out early so we could do this. It seems like
Awesome. Yeah. No, I'm glad you could fill in here. Yeah, we were trying to find some players. I tried to text Eugene because he's been trying to do a little more commentating, and he's actually out of town right now. And then Mallory mentioned to me that that you were interested. I was like, oh, absolutely. Let's get him in the mix.
yeah, I've done the Saturday tournament a couple times. Remember the cash.
Who's the second best
We'll see how that goes.
Let's see who gets it.
See, I haven't seen the classic
Players left.
Yeah, we got a lot of fun players here. I'm sure you recognize a lot of these players dealing because I mentioned in the chat that you typically deal during the nighttime, correct?
I do, yeah.
So I'm sure you see a lot of these players playing the bigger games.
Sean Connery.
That's why I said second.
Yeah, Sean
You might
Connery,
not
for me,
recognize.
It's just my personal opinion because I've seen all Daniel Craig.
No, I think you should recognize all these players.
I like Pierce
Pretty
Brosnan,
much,
but
yeah. Noticed
If you rewatch
Mr.
the Pierce
Delivery
Brosnan
dressed
movies,
up
they're
this
kind
evening.
of cheesy.
Craig has a better.
Wonder if he just came from
Yeah, for sure.
an expensive lunch date or something, I suppose.
The poker scenes in Casino Royale do tilt me though.
Well, for our viewers, they may not know.
Quads over Royal
They
Flush.
may not know you at all, or I mean anything at all. I
Yeah,
guess
and
you want
everyone's
to
all
tell the
happy.
chat
Just get a
a
guy
little bit about
that
yourself,
follows, like,
maybe how you got into
like-
poker, and
Why can't we like see
I've
something
been
where they
playing
just, like,
since
hero
I
off
was
of it, you know?
18, I guess.
Actually, you
17
can
or
see that
18.
3 tables from here.
Been dealing for the past few years
The new
here
John
at
Wick
Texas
movie,
Card
there's a
House,
poker-
or
there's like a-
2.5. I guess we're
a
almost
5
at
card
3.
hand.
Oh my god, don't say it. I'm gonna watch
Didn't
it.
really deal
Oh, no, I'm just
too
saying.
much until
I told my buddy, someone's gonna make a
recently.
royal, I'm
Dealt a
saying.
little bit when I lived in
5
Colorado,
cards though,
but
they get dealt 5 cards. they
played
discard 2, some
mainly,
guy
but
makes a
really
roll.
just loved the games, loved math, so it's a lot of fun.
One hand. You're like,
Come from a customer service background, so
Very funny,
pretty
Carlos.
easy to keep the people at the table satisfied while they're losing money, because that's kind of the point, right? Somebody's got to lose. So if you can enjoy yourself while you're losing, it makes the game a lot more fun.
no, absolutely. And I say this a lot. I've said this before actually, where it's like, man, we wish everyone could win, but it's just the fact of the matter is there's going to be probably 2 or 3 winners. The rest of the table's losers. So it's,
Well, I tell most of my tables every day, it is my job to disappoint. Right? 8 people are going to lose every hand. So the sooner you realize you're going to be disappointed most of the time, you just got to enjoy when you do get the win. That's
a good thing you should do is probably channel the moments you do win the hand. And then the 90% other time when you're not winning, you can channel the mindset that you're getting from winning. And
definitely.
Yeah.
But you know, how often does somebody walk up to you and be like, "Oh, listen to this hand," and it's a hand that they played well and then they ended up winning at the end, right? That's
Right.
very, very rare. It's the oh my goodness, the guy hit me with the 1 outer. Or,
Right.
Oh, he went runner, perfect to get there on me. So we definitely remember the pain more than
absolutely.
the pleasure.
And,
That's for sure.
and I think that's I think that's like a biological thing, right? Like your mind's like wired to remember the bad things so that you don't do it again. But in poker, it's like kind of reverse thing. Bad things happen to you all the time, but you keep coming back for more.
For sure. And I think a little bit of expectations too, right? You're always expecting the best. So whenever it doesn't go that direction, that's what kind of you remember.
It's very like it's very can't think of the word, the phrase right now, but it's counterintuitive. Yeah, poker's super counterintuitive to what like you're. It's like, well, if you keep losing, why do you keep playing? It's like, no, it's because I enjoy the game. It's like, so you enjoy losing? It's like, well, no, I'm winning most of the time, but I lose the other 40% of the time. So it's like, wait, you're only winning 60% of the time?
Right, right.
Like, what?
Yeah, you could understand if it was 80 or 90%. Oh yeah, I'd play too. But when it's when it's close to 50-50, you're right. Why play?
Yeah, even the best players only win 55% of the time.
So we do have a little bit of a hand here. I wonder if there's a king underneath one of these cards we can't see. We've got 2 flush draws, and guess not a king hidden there.
It's like 3 of it. 3 players.
Club would be disastrous here for Danny.
It's a good dodge. I'm kind of wondering what Viti's doing in here. Has he got some plans?
I think if it was maybe heads up, you could probably consider firing another barrel here. But when Wolfgang and Danny calls, you have to expect one of them to have a king for sure. Little as you know, they both have flush draws.
decent sized bet 3 ways with the semi bluff there.
Oh, what a shove there from Danny. And you got to keep in mind there, Danny still has his knit button.
I did not realize we were in the middle of the knit game.
Yeah, we started off the game with a knit game. So I think Phil, Steven, and Danny still have their knit buttons. Danny here turning his hand into a bluff here with some equity, or what he thinks is equity. Little does he know he's dominated against Wolfgang's nut flush draw. Still has some live cards though.
That's a big jam. I think he priced him out on the just the flush draw, even maybe with his ace being good. So I mean, I'd love the bet. I think Danny knows exactly what that's capable of doing, getting the bigger flush draw to fold.
Yeah, great
getting
play
a
there.
single king to fold. And that's why he won the Choctaw Main.
No, for sure.
A few months back. So
And, yeah, for players that may not know,
Look at you like seagulls.
Danny actually won the Choctaw Main event. I think it was the World Series one. About a year ago now, actually. It's getting close to the year mark. So if you ever go to Choctaw, you'll see his banner there up in the conference room. So congratulations again to him for that.
a little over $250,000 for a $1,600 buy-in.
Yep.
What an ROI.
Yeah.
One's in the chat if you want to.
So it looks like Phil there ended up losing the knit game, having to pay $100 to every player.
No, I'm just kidding.
Nice play there from Danny.
So, I've noticed, I guess just a couple of weeks ago, that this knit game was a thing. Is this just like we're lazy and we don't want to stand up, but we like the idea of you have to win a hand?
I think it's mainly for just production. So like when we used to do the stand-up game, everyone's standing up blocking all the cameras. Like if we have a tall person in seat 1 at that camera angle that you just saw, their heads just blocking the camera. And I think one time we were playing it, we had Sturdy. He's like 6'5", and he's just blocking the camera.
That makes sense. Okay, for production of the show. Okay.
And yes, maybe like 20% laziness. Too.
Yeah, for sure. I can. I mean, poker players do sit in a chair for hours on end, so I can understand the lazy factor for sure.
You can play it.
Definitely not talking trash. I like the sitting.
I like sitting as well. And I joked around actually when that stand-up game came around. For a little bit, I was like, "Hey, let's get the dealer involved too. Like, have a button on the table to raise the table, like a standing desk."
That would be epic for sure.
That way, you'd feel like you're not like bending down to look at your cards. Like you can, just stand up and look at your cards.
8 kicker. 10.
He's 10 going to take down this pot. Oh yeah, and feel free to turn on that heater if you start to get a little chilly. I know it gets very cold in here. I think all the AC units just you have to plug it in.
So we are doing this
That
again?
might help.
I don't want to run ace jack.
Yeah, I think all the AC ventilation just comes into this room, which kind of makes sense, I guess, with all the technology we have in here. But yeah, Vidi, the big winner right now, won a pretty big pot against, or he's been winning a lot of medium-sized pots and won a big pot when he turned trick nines.
Okay.
Oh, no.
He's definitely sneaky. So.
Yeah, Vidi, definitely an OG from the WinStar days. Has a lot of experience playing live. I don't know how much online experience he has, but I know he has a lot of live experience in games like this. He has a very good table presence as well, from what I've noticed. Always happy to give action and chat it up with the table. And I feel like that's really important if you're going to try to play, if this game is some additional side income or as a professional. You want to have a good table presence, make it fun for other players, and don't be that stick in the mud that says no to straddles and blind raises or whatever.
Absolutely.
YL in the chat wanted me to explain the knit game. Absolutely. Here, Wolfgang get a river straight, and OC going to turn his deuces into a bluff.
200.
That's not the best timing, it appears. I mean, he does have all the ace-kings because he was the pre-flop. Well, no, I guess that'd be Wolfgang because he was.
Like the raise here from Wolfgang. And
It's
I like
okay.
the sizing. You're trying to target like 2 pair or sets that might be doing this.
Right, agreed. Get it. Queen 10,
Stream game.
Queen Jack. Agreed. I think that's really the only value that you're going to get from. I mean, I'm assuming it's a raise to fold to an additional raise.
He always runs that on stream. Oh, yeah.
Not today.
Alvin teaches poker in the chat. Says Wolfgang, don't be a nit, raise. Don't just call. And
We'll try to get him.
I guess he heard you.
Yeah.
Fucking Stewart.
Go to the bluff.
Nice to hand for Wolfgang.
Wolfgang, where's the
YL in chat. Do you mind explaining the nit game? So each player starts off with the nit button in front of them. Once they win a hand, either it's pre-flop, flop, turn, or river, they have to show their hand and turn in their nit button. Last person with net button has to pay everyone a specific bounty amount. In this case, it was $100 to each player, so $800 total. Which I think that's a good size for the stack, because I think all of them start about 5K. So.
Just pick through everything that people donated from like the grandfather that died and stuff. Yeah. It was like exact same hand I had.
Hope that answered your question, YL.
I don't know what that is, but
Consulting his.
Yeah, when Mallory texted me that you were going to hop in here in the booth with me, I mentioned to the chat that I guess you play primarily PLO.
just like
I do.
happened to go in there and I could tell.
I like Hold'em tournaments. Hold'em cash is just a little slow for my liking, and when I'm playing for a long time. So
We had season tickets growing up. I used to go all the time.
I feel like you don't miss much in PLO too. Whenever you take a break, you get up and go eat dinner or whatever. You come back, it might not even made it a full orbit. So, you know, it's more talkative. It's a little bit more social game. I know that there's a lot more that you can do in Hold'em, obviously, as far as the lines you take and the hand selection with what you do. Versus Omaha's a little bit more straightforward. There's a little bit less bluffing. I think Omaha's just more about getting your opponent to pay too much, you know,
for their draws.
So.
We need Jeff.
Not to get obviously too in detail, but I've learned over the years that you want to get your money in on the turn in Omaha. You don't want to push all your equity on the flop because everything changes. So
a lot of times the flop will give. Well, and like you can really navigate the turn and see like what additional draws might have come up to make your decision whether you want to bet again or maybe check to avoid the variance.
Right, exactly, because there's so many possibilities, right? If you just have a dry set on the flop on the semi-dynamic board that everything can change on the turn. Now, you know, people with double backdoor draws and you know they're likely to stick around. So you want to see safe turns or see turns that give you additional backup. But this is Texas Card House, and sometimes getting your money in on the turn is not an option. Sometimes it's pre-flop and on the flop. You know.
You watched all Last Dance?
I have seen more 5-way all-ins pre-flop than I can count. So.
Wolfgang Poker, and I'll talk about one of my experiences with PLO because I've been playing a lot more. But let's get back to the action here. Wolfgang in a spot here with 2 pair against OFC's flush. Not flush, to be exact.
So I kind of talked through that action. I'm not even sure.
No, that's fine.
That's One of Wolfgang led the turn and then checked the river.
Great fold there from Wolfgang. Not really beating anything. I mean, loses to better 2 pairs, sets, and obviously flushes and straights. So that's a great fold there from Wolfgang. I think that'd just be a little too loose there to pay that off. When you could have, you'd rather have like Ace King, Ace Jack, sets.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't go from playing 1-2 2 years ago to playing 5-10 25 this year by calling off.
I mean, I wanted us to lose at the end because we're not going to make any noise in the playoffs. I'd rather have a top 10 pick. But
that's part of the.
And I say this all the time in the chat. If you're not folding the winning hand occasionally, like say OC did have a bluff there. It's like, well, great bluff. I mean, if you're not folding the winning hand occasionally, you're probably not folding enough to river spots. Especially the river spot is the most underbluffed spot in poker, right? So.
I was Bears, Bulls.
Definitely. Yeah. That is one move in Hold'em that I love, is the check raise river. When you know your opponent just bets a little too thin on the river and you're out of position, it's just it's too easy.
Well, that's the strongest move, right? The check raise all out of position too.
something.
or something.
11.
That wouldn't be
look at
possible,
this.
but if, you know,
I guess, yeah.
Show them the playoffs, you're never going to succeed in.
I'm all Cubs, but
I'm with you. I would really, if I'm
60-40-ish.
They came to battle. No, I like it.
I was gonna call off there.
Zach is definitely capable of some
like,
It's a
few years
tricky,
ago when I was rooting for them.
tricky wins you pots quite often.
I think there's a chance that Luca might not be happy right now. That's the.
I know Taco doesn't play for a living, but he has a lot of years of playing live poker, a lot of years of experience playing at the casinos up north. Played a lot of the big games, so he knows how to play. he can battle.
It's not the kind of player you need an extra.
It's like, you don't see players playing these stakes just because they have a lot of money or they're just like, casually playing. Like, no, they want to win. They know how to play. Like RV Phil battles and knows how to play the game.
Absolutely.
We don't really have.
I mean, probably the closest person I could say was probably Carlos because he actually only started playing during the pandemic. But he's improved so much in the past year playing these 5, 10 and a quarter games.
So you're like a tech.
Yeah, it's more in LA, but
yeah. So I don't know if you noticed, but I've been actually playing a lot more PLO lately, and man, I'm enjoying it a lot. I see why you do it now.
It's a lot of fun for sure. It's when the downswings, you question yourself a little bit, but it's just variance. There's not a lot that you can do. And in PLO with almost every card being distributed, there's going to be a lot of situations that seem like dirty suckouts or something like that. But since all of the cards are out there, there's no other way that it can go. It's not like in Hold'em where you've got Ace King and he's got King 10 and it comes King 10-3 and you get it all in and you're like, oh, I'm against that sucks. I'm against 2 pair. If you're getting it in like that in Omaha, you're bound to lose for sure. It's going to be more drastic stuff.
That good?
You got the nut flush, they both up. More fights.
I hope it wasn't.
Like you said earlier, more straightforward in certain spots. If you really wanted to get nitty-gritty, you could probably argue that it's more complicated than No Limit Hold'em, but in the base, just looking at it on the surface level, it's like a lot more straightforward in certain spots.
I know why I play poker. Yeah, I found that on the river.
God, I'm getting cold in here.
It is a little chilly in here. I'm a little disappointed I left the jacket at home. Well, it's really nice outside. It's 75 degrees. So. Which you got to enjoy it right now in Texas because 2 months from now we're gonna be begging. I'm gonna be begging to get into this room. It's like, can I go in the live stream room?
Sold it.
It's cold.
It got bought out.
It's super weird here, man. I've been in here when it's like hot too. It's just like the room. It varies a lot.
125.
Rounding's okay because
but yeah, you were mentioning it's like sometimes you're getting it all in.
My family
in PLO. The other day actually I got it in with an ace queen 10 suited to the ace, of course, against king 4 3 deuce, double suited. I don't know if that's even relevant, but yeah, I lost obviously. I would be talking about it if I did win.
No, and that the selection in high only is obviously a pretty garbage hand, but when you're in high low and you have like a 4-3 deuce, that's a decent spot to be, right?
I played 4 times. Very good.
And in high only, when the action gets a little crazy pre-flop and you don't have an ace in your hand, I feel like you fare a lot better. And that's one thing I do see people that haven't been playing PLO too long. They
That's why I call him talking.
ace king 10-9 with a suit looks really good to them. But at the end of the day, that's actually really, really bad because ace-king is sitting over here, or ace-king is sitting over here. So you're in a much worse spot when you have that ace than when you don't. So
you'd rather take all the low cards and hope to get some kind of rundown on the flop. Or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
The nuts here on the turn for Wolfgang. Oh man!
Oh no! Bad timing, Phil.
I mean, I love the aggression here, considering that Wolfgang did 3-bet, so it's
pre, and then he checked back the flop. Right.
Yeah, it's very hard for Wolfgang to have a flush here. Little does he know that Wolfgang has the ace of spades.
I mean, from reports of people who've gone and seen it, and I've seen like short little videos.
Alright, Phil trying to rep the hand that Wolfgang has here by check calling flop.
Wolfgang's gonna call, and I mean, with RV's aggression, there's a chance he just rips it.
I've heard different things
That doesn't.
over the past several months of what their plan is with this place.
That changes nothing.
If I was the one running it, I wouldn't want to run 2 locations, I don't think.
You could do one late date, then it will expand.
I mean, I know RV knows
Yeah,
that Wolfgang's a little bit on the tighter
It's
side,
weird,
so
I've heard
he's
so many
not
different
just
things at so many
flatting.
points. Like at one point I heard them like,
Yeah.
you know,
Facial
like,
expression
they
says he's
weren't able
given
to
up here.
expand here because like, you know, the Sam Moon folks don't really like having him here.
Yeah.
And then I've
Yeah,
heard
the only
other things
hand
like
maybe you're trying to
Sam
get the
Moon
fold in the
himself
spot would
being
be like
like
queens with the queen of spades,
spoken
jacks with the jack of
defensive
spades that
TCH I'd like to hear.
get a little sticky on the turn,
I
but
really don't know.
I think this is a great
I
check
hear
here from
different
Phil
stuff, but I'm not
to
really
give up.
anything.
I mean, just you're ripping so thin already, so
I heard about that.
Today was the first day they could vote.
hands like kings with the king of spades still might even call you off. Like,
Right. Yeah, and I mean, there's no sets in this configuration. There's no straights with the 3 bets pre-flop. I mean, Phil has the sets. Phil has the straights. You know. So. Yeah, snap fold.
Nice in there for Wolfgang,
And
up to a 9K stack.
I almost wouldn't have hated. I mean, Phil did a little too much talking. I think the hand was kind of over with the way his demeanor. But if you take that out of the equation,
But like apparently they're gonna have like
I would have preferred much more polar from Wolfgang. Either all of it or 300 or 400, and hopefully Phil bites and ships it or something.
Right, something to induce a bluff.
Right. But I mean, Wolfgang's playing 5, 10, 25 on live stream, and I'm sitting here talking about it. So what do I know?
No, we have the easy job of analyzing. They have the hard job of playing. Yeah.
And I can see all the cards.
Exactly. Yeah, we have the luxury of just being like, oh, like they could do this or they could do that. It's like, no, but it's not our $5,000 sitting there that they have to risk. Right?
Right, and in his mindset, he probably thinks Phil has a jack high, queen high flush, and he was so. That's a reasonable amount. So if he would have thought Phil was bluffing, maybe he would have gone with that super small or super large size. We need to get some more yellow chips on there. What do we call those? Canaries?
Yellow Pikachus.
Pikachus. Nice.
At least Ben Kirby, one of our other commentators, likes to call them that.
I like Pikachu. I feel like canaries used elsewhere.
The bar should.
Yeah, we call them Pikachus here, and then I just call them 1Ks, just our teal 1Ks.
I don't think I saw any of them on the big Congress game we have going right now.
There was a lot of pink chips.
Yeah, there definitely was.
I mean, it happens. If something happens.
Which I mean makes sense, right? I mean, because they're 20, 21, 5, 50, and 100, right? So we're gonna be doing a lot of $500 bets, raises.
The law changed to where it's a lot harder to compete as
It is, as long as the white chip is QVC certified.
And I guess it kind of makes sense too for the to chop up the bots.
Yeah, no.
Because like if you have too many 1Ks, it's like, oh, can someone break this? Like it's.
And then the law is if your TAB.
Yeah, actually, I didn't think about it until now. So it probably makes more sense to have more hundreds and 500s than the $1,000 chips.
And the 5Ks probably wouldn't come into play too often.
No. That's how they got.
They're doing it's round of each though, right? There's a round of high.
Round of high 5 card, round of high low.
That ought to get interesting. I don't know how Zach dodged it all, but he did.
Whoa! Wow!
See, even he was surprised.
Lost the minimum there, Phil.
Love the table talk on this table.
Yeah, definitely a good lineup. A lot of fun.
My only, I guess.
For those of y'all in the chat that may be interested in playing on our live stream here, you can contact Mallory at that phone number listed below and the email. You can also use that QR code if you're a little more tech savvy.
It also can cause things.
You play any one of our live streams during the week on Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday we typically do quarter 50. Wednesday we typically do this 5, 10 in the quarter game. So if you're interested, please contact Mallory, our game runner, for our Texas live TCH live stream for Dallas.
If you want to play on Saturday, though, you got to put in some work.
Yeah. You got to earn that spot. Yeah. It's almost a little more prestigious, right? It's like, okay, it's like if you play on the live stream on Saturday, it's like you have to freaking grind through a 200+ field, entrant field, and play some solid poker.
Would you like to invest in it? No.
You've made it a few times, right? Or once?
I have made the final table once, final table a couple times. I haven't played the Saturday a ton of times. I'd like to think I'm still young and vibrant, and I can go have fun on Saturdays and do things other than
playing poker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in this building 60 hours a week, so it's gotta get away and do some stuff.
I feel the same way. It's like I tell our viewers is. You can come here any day of the week. You'll probably see me here doing one of 4 things: flooring, dealing, playing, or commentating.
Right.
That would have been dark colors.
And I mean, I love this place.
Yeah.
It's an amazing place to work, an amazing place to play.
Do you play tennis also?
Our bosses here are awesome. A pleasure to work for.
Yeah. To be honest, I think pickleball is closer to ping pong than tennis.
Our customer selection is from around the world.
Oh yeah.
But Southern hospitality kind of shines through here in Texas. So
I love it.
They're
Kind of, yeah. I'm not good.
we're very blessed to work in this establishment, I feel. So.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and because you're local to Texas, right? So I mean, you hear from all our dealers that came from Vegas or California or other states that poker, Florida.
Like a 5.5 pro.
And the person I always hear from too is consistently is Donovan. Actually, Donovan, our new tournament director. So congratulations to him.
Congratulations, Donovan.
Good luck to Eugene to his future endeavors. But he's not leaving the room. He's just going to become a dealer and focus on other endeavors.
I feel like he's going to become more of a player.
Yeah.
I hope so. I mean, he said he hadn't been running too good in Omaha lately, but he did well in tournaments last year. He's got his Stuck for Life going on, which is awesome. So,
the other time.
just a poker clothing brand, kind of sticking his neck out there. There's quite a few people in the vlogging world and stuff have made their own T-shirts and their own clothing line.
Your channel is already a brand on its own, so why not build on it?
Right.
With clothing, merch. Like how many times I've seen players all over the state or when I go, or not, I guess I haven't really traveled with poker, but like I'll see people with like the Rampage Luckbox shirt or the card protector.
I see so many. I was gonna say I see so many Rampage card protectors. And it doesn't hurt that he won almost $1 million or whatever. His following has drastically grown due to his luckboxness, I suppose.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because that's like what his brand is, and he's literally like living it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, oh, he big 2 tournaments in a row.
Put it out there in the universe. It came back full scale for him.
Yeah, I want to get back in I'm gonna get a pickleball racket.
Well, believe it or not, tennis hurts you less than pickleball.
Really?
Because it's short jumping stuff. Okay. And tennis is like a dance.
I grew up like playing with my friends and stuff. I never took it seriously, but I love racket sports in general.
Well, there's a study in Sweden that says that tennis is the adult activity that adds the most years in your life, average of 10.
Cool. There's so many.
Is that cause and effect, or is that select?
Wolfgang's down 2.4. Mr. Delivery. That's as deep as they play sometimes. That's a minute amount for Mr. Delivery.
No.
They flip for that occasion more than occasion.
They flip more for that.
Yeah,
more than that, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd say in this kind of game, even though they're not, looks like they don't look like they're straddling. Oh, they are straddling. So even more likely they can get that money back. Right? That's only 40 big blinds.
Right, for sure.
They wanted a dealer change.
And I always have to reiterate that on our Tuesday game, right? It's like, oh my God, this guy's down 10,000. It's like, I don't think I understand. Like they get that back in one hand.
Yep, definitely. Especially if I'm in the box deal. A cooler is incoming. You're either going to get the 10 back or you're going to give another 10 away. Yeah, I managed to set some table four-handed the other night.
It's such a class act.
Two card?
Yeah, 2 card.
Oh my!
And it was the last hand of the table. It was the worst scenario possible, and I could do nothing but kind of laugh inside because we do come for the pain, and everybody watches this for the pain, right? Max pain. And this scenario was absolute max pain. This kid comes up. They send him to the table while the table is breaking. So there was 3 players at that table that were still there that were going to play other games while this kid comes up. So he makes 4. they play one hand four-handed while the floor is getting it organized to figure out where they're gonna, you know, which tables they need to go to. I deal this hand, and the flop comes 10-7-3, and they're three-handed on the flop or to the flop. I think it was like $30 to the flop. That doesn't really matter. Yeah, 2-5. Straddle was on, raised to 30, 2 calls. Flop is 10-7-3. It checks through. The turn is a 4. I'm not really sure how the betting went. I think it was bet, raise, jam, call. But it was pocket 10s, pocket 3s, and pocket 4s. All so they checked. The pocket 4s checked into a set. You know, the other two are slow play.
It wasn't on the flop.
No, I didn't flop it, but they checked through the flop, and then the 4s turn a set, and they all get it in for a 7K pot. So that was one of the more brutal things I've done, for sure.
So I'm gonna one up you. I've done set over set on the flop.
And I
think it was like a 20K pot at 2-5.
Those guys would get thrown into pools with like people in like the
You know, and if it's stuff like, if the board's like 8, 9, 10, right, and it was 10s versus 9s versus 8s, it's a little different. But when it's like, when it's like jacks, 7s, 4s, like that type of set over set is so bad.
It's so funny you say that. Ace Jack 4 ring board.
Yeah,
on the flop.
the draws are very limited. You know, there's not really any 2 3s or 3 5s that are drawn. There's not really queen 10s or king queens.
You're just like, oh, they got 2 pairs. No, and it's kind of funny. I guess I should say it's funny, but the player that had the 4s on the Ace Jack 4, he was getting kind of like annoyed that the guy with the jacks didn't 3-bet because it was a single raise pot. It was literally raise the 20 or raise the 25 from the like hijack. Call on the button, call on the small blind. There's only like there's less than $100 in the pot, and then they get it all in on the flop somehow.
Tougher now, so the game is different.
I probably would have been a little ticked if I was the 4s too. You know, if it's an under the gun raise, I can respect just flat out with the jacks. But yeah, I mean, if it's hijack or cutoff that's opening and the button, if you're not 3-betting jacks on the button,
when Juwan was betting like.
You have to be 80 years older or older, right? Sorry for all of my senior citizens watching in the chat right now.
No, it was like a middle age, but still though, like the guy that was in his phone was like, what? I shouldn't even be in this pot. Like should have been like 3-bet, 4-bet, call. I fold by 4s. But obviously he's saying that hindsight, right? Like when he flops a set of 4s, what else do you want? You're happy to hit. Sets are just you're really good.
Yeah, I mean I've set for a long time.
I don't know if I want to go to dinner with LeBron or.
If I've got a boat and you've got quads, that's what the ATM is for.
What's that?
You know?
I got to experience that feel though the week before the cruise.
Going to the ATM?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the boat over quads.
Gotcha.
Just interesting.
I flop queen 4-4 with pocket queens. Turns a brick, of course. Get it all in on the turn, and then 5 on the river. Or 4 on the river.
That's nice.
Yeah, I got one out of set over set one time. One of my favorites in the building, Barry. Barry only goes once. He got it in on the flop. I had queens. He had 6s. It was like queen 9-6 or something. And he said, "You got a set?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, well, I'm dead." And then the 6 rolls off on the river. He goes, "Never mind." Almost 6K pot. So.
And I imagine when you saw the 6, you like part of you was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, I know. I instantly knew that I lost.
It's like that's not good.
Just like the other day, got it in with Ace King versus Ace Queen pre-flop. Set it up nice. You know, got him to call off, which he went in a spot he shouldn't have. And in the turn, the Queen came off on the river. But I just knew that knew the Queen was bad as soon as it rolls. But.
Got a pot developing here, Mr. Delivery from the. It keeps saying the under the gun on their little player profile thing, but it's actually the 3rd blind. Just keep that in mind.
Okay, that makes sense.
So he didn't limp 3 raise. No, he's raising from the 3rd blind.
Software doesn't allow for all those configurations. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no way.
Let's make it 950 to go on to Wolfgang in the cutoff with the pocket 8s.
10K deep.
think it's just call here, just because you are raising from the cutoff here, so you can expect delivery to have a wide range of holdings here, raising from the blinds. Say that Wolfgang is maybe early position under the gun or +1. You might respect that a little bit more. You can just fold the 8s.
Wow.
I'm really surprised he folded there, especially considering Steven has kind of a kind of the
You're gonna wish you had Wolfgang.
today.
See?
Whatever you're thinking of doing, you're gonna wish you had done it in 15 minutes.
And then the commentary from him afterward is great. He just lets him know that
They'll have verification soon. That's like, oh, it would have worked.
Lets him know he 3-bet
Unless
squeeze.
you're planning on calling, in which case, who knows?
He's very known for, at least in our stream, he's very capable of having bluffs in that spot there, and suited connectors, weak aces.
I gotta sit here and be like, man,
he could have as weak as like 7s there. Like a middling pocket pair.
It was gonna work. It was gonna work.
I've seen him put on big squeezes like that with 5s, 6s, 7s, facing in late position open. But in Wolfgang's defense, maybe he hasn't watched Stevens play as much, and obviously when you're playing against an unknown, you err on the side of caution.
Right. So. Yeah, I mean, when your opponent's going to be opening things as wide as like Jack 8 suited and stuff like that, I think it's a slam dunk to get those suited connectors and smaller pairs, not super small pairs. Obviously you kind of want to keep those set line most of the time, but yeah, your 6s, 7s, and 8s and stuff right there. I think it's a great 3-bet spot because you're not gonna like most flops when they come out, and you're gonna get a lot of hands to fold that have a good amount of equity against you.
Yeah, I think we might have offended some of our viewers in the chat. It says Mo the Cat, hey commentator, pre-flop queens all in 10-10 calls, KK folds, and yes, folded by the youngest guy at the table. So stuff it.
Okay.
Well, okay. I mean, if you ever get it all in with me with kings, I am never folding kings. And I don't think you are either.
No, not at all. And in March, actually, the limited amount of hold'em I did play, I went 0 for 3 kings versus queens.
Oh my god!
All in pre-flop. Set them up for disaster every time. They made a set. It was pretty funny.
It's great that you can laugh it off like that. Yeah. Zach gonna fire another barrel here. Targeting king, queen, queen, jack, ace, queen.
Zach's not allowed to have aces. I don't even know if he knows how to play aces.
He'd like almost. It's so funny, right? When you see players like Dong, right? Like they almost seem more comfortable with like a bad hand. Right? They're just like, let's get it in here with 5 deuce.
Right. You know where you're at. Aces are only ever really blocking the nuts in most situations, right? If you're bluffing with an ace, it's usually a suited thing, or whereas 10-7 is going to block a lot of stuff on a lot of board textures, so you can use it to your advantage for sure.
150.
I've never seen him.
That's why I say I always like 9-10 suited. Wins big pots, and you always know where
I'm
you're
mad at
at.
myself too. I think I'm in for 8.
Aces are good most of the time on 5, 6, 8 boards, but when they're not, you lose big pots. That's for sure.
Is that comfortable? This? Yeah, to play on that. To play on that, you don't feel like.
I mean, it's maybe a little snug, but it's like I don't mind,
You have a big bluff.
Wow, did OFC open up 7-3 offsuit here?
That's his favorite hand.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice. I wonder if he was born in 73.
Anytime he has 7-3, he will always play it. I think it stems from his home game with like a beep in them, Mustafa. And he gets like a kick out of the bluff people with 7-3. He might raise here.
Yeah, I was gonna say he might run it right here.
You ever dress like that?
I don't even. Yeah, I don't.
We don't have the action on the left here to see what the pre-flop action is, but
well, there was 340 in the pot.
Yeah, it's the new Lulu.
Yeah, I've heard.
yeah, I guess it's kind of tough for Carlos to have a really, really strong hand in that spot. So it wouldn't have been unreasonable for Carlos or for OFC to try to go for it there.
Right. It would have worked, obviously.
My entire wardrobe is like athleisure/pajamas.
Athleisure.
I'm gonna order Asian, I think, David.
Is David on lockdown down there? I haven't seen a hand you played. You know, just
Wow, talking a little trash to Vidi right now.
That's always my answer when someone says that. You want to flip?
Off stacks?
We flipped one night for, I don't remember how much it was.
Probably.
It was a decent number.
He owes me 10K if he flips.
Oh, that's
$50.
That is an interesting scenario, though. So they were just giving him a hard time about not playing any hands, and then he said, you know, anytime anybody does that, I just ask them if they want to flip. But is that really anything? You know, it's just a 50-50 gamble.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna win half the time. So
I think
that's just I've got some money. You want to flip a coin, right? Like
I think the willingness to show that you'll bluff in actual pots. That's probably more telling than flipping, right? Yeah. And I mean, I don't know who was saying that, but I mean, if it was Steven, I mean, we've seen Steven bluff off his entire stack with nothing. So,
for sure.
He's willing to give action.
Yes.
And I've seen
the way him and Dong do flips.
Yeah.
He's obviously not opposed to doing that either. So. What do we have? What?
It's gonna be like this, and we got white chips.
Hold on.
fold by Mary.
Oh, it's
That's 10. 10 jack.
Got a very good turn.
Is that were the graphics right there? Didi had a queen. It was queen 10-10, and he just folded to a c-bet. Like,
$50
Brian, you ever go to any of the Grand Slams?
Biddy the big winner right now. Zach not too far behind. OFC up about 2K. Everyone pretty much even for this game or stuck.
Have you seen Federer play live? I wanted to. That's all we've been.
You buy the
always
tickets
was
ahead
my
of time,
dream.
you're hoping it's him, and then you get up there and you're like,
You didn't make it.
yeah, you see like two losers.
Is tennis fun to watch live?
If you like tennis, then yeah.
You know what's
Oh, I love watching tennis on TV, so I can only imagine how fun it is to watch it live. Because like everything is just looks, when you're watching a sport live, everything just looks faster. Right? The camera does not do the speed justice.
I would rather watch golf on TV than live. Even though I really enjoy going to a professional golf tournament, it's just you don't get much out of it, right? You get to watch
The one player that you're
right.
watching.
Or if you
Or you
stay
stay
at
one hole.
right, then you get one shot from each player. You don't get a lot of.
Every time.
I mean, I do know there's a lot of drinking that goes along with these golf tournaments, right? So I know people like to stay at that like the 9th hole or 18th hole, sit in the stands and just down beers, right? That's what they like to do.
A lot of drinking in the grandstands for sure.
Like the more you know about a sport, the more you're able to pick up and enjoy in the moments that aren't just like obvious scoring, big things.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to go to the
Got
waste
a
management.
gutter for Vidi now.
No, you want to go to the waste management open next year?
Show that, like, beyond half court. That's what Scott's
What is
pretty
that?
sick.
It's like golf tournament in Arizona, but it's like
But it needs to hit a 5.
Biggest pie in the
where
world.
they like jump up.
Left with 7 high, which probably means a triple barrel.
Wasted management.
A
Ball in
lot
the
of,
range
a lot
here.
of draws that Wolfgang could have had. 2 flush draws, 2.
Yeah, I think he went this year.
Nice bluff, David. Thank you. One of my better ones.
Max value.
David's hilarious. Oh man. So great to have him back on our live stream. He hasn't played on our live stream for a while, but anytime we have him on here, always brings a great, brings great energy, brings great action.
He doesn't like tie. 'Cause he's
Solid player as well.
Oh, he has a peanut thing. Yeah, it's weird to be allergic to peanuts.
Yeah,
I don't like dying.
No, but I could agree with that. Yeah, it's just the ability to just see all the players and see the standings, like golf on TV, probably better. I could definitely see how watching tennis in person would be really fun.
For sure.
Because like I never really liked hockey for that matter. If we're talking about sports now, but when I went to my first live hockey game, I was like, "This is freaking awesome."
I'm the same way.
I was like,
do
"This
not,
is so much better."
I do not like hockey on TV, but live, it is very, very cool.
You got the cold air. You're hearing the pucks. The puck is so much louder.
Yeah.
The speed of the players is so much faster. Because I guess it's the you're getting that effect where when the cameras follow the players, you don't see the speed how they're moving.
It's like multiple vendors, right? Yeah, what I've done there.
OSC playing the Queen Deuce suited off.
Shout out Israeli Ron.
Yeah, Israeli
What kind of
Ron.
event would have just
For those of y'all that watch
Well, I
other
don't know if it's owned
streams.
by like one. I think it's like
It
all
looked like it
different.
was like an
Yeah.
ordeal. Yeah.
Do we have any plans to get Robbie on stream? It looks like she went down to San Antonio and played.
There's actually a few good dim sum.
Yeah, I don't know actually.
I mean, I'm just waiting. You know, I'd like somebody
Chinese
to
like
just
go like
ship it pre-flop for 30K with Jack 4
a little
here.
bit. I haven't been to their dim sum, but I've had dinner there.
Well, and like it's almost, I think it's like standard at this point. Like if you have Robbie on your stream,
Where do you stay
you
in
have to
Dallas
have the Jack 4 bounce
moved
Yeah.
here for
in
6
play,
months.
right?
Oh, nice.
It's,
Los Angeles, kind of.
Oh, nice.
I'm in Uptown right now.
you know, actually, I haven't even, maybe
Like West Village.
I'll shoot her a DM and see if she responds.
There you go.
150.
Yeah.
I have a
Sure, she
have
would
it-
be down.
I have it listed. I am the commentator on my Instagram.
I
But
think she's been.
I gave you 300
I
extra
think
dollars.
she's been enjoying some traveling, playing
Hoping y'all would order some
on
zero
on
out.
TV after the
yeah,
the Jack 4.
You guys had it from there?
You gotta do something pretty special. Get a hand named after you, right?
Zero out is really awesome.
I usually get Zalot.
All right.
Marcos is pretty good.
Carlos does not have a good kicker, but he
Try it.
does have top pair.
At least I can make Broadway.
I'm sure I need semi-help here. All right, wait.
Brass Monkey drawing to a queen high flusher.
It's like love.
Brick on the turn. Pretty safe card for Carlos. Has the nut flush blocker as well.
I'll order a pizza tomorrow.
So whenever I have pizza, I just have Coke, like Coke Zero with it to kind of balance
Coming out
it
with
out.
a lead,
Same thing.
which I like.
The pizza stops me up, but the Coke
You know,
Zero
the
really
fact that
kinda-
Brass Monkey bet if he does have a
The
flush draw,
caffeine
you
in
don't
the
want to
Coke
give
Zero
him
He
that.
was eating baked Cheetos
that
last
free
night.
turn
He was
card.
eating baked fire Cheetos.
free
He's like,
river.
dude, these aren't.
Yeah, I like the lead here from the turn on turn actually. You kind of.
Oh,
no!
no!
Yeah.
So that's the gin card, folks.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you feel better.
That's tough because you have the Ace of Hearts, so you
Toggle just
I was
eats
eating, I was
everything.
eating a Brahms Sunday.
too, so it kind of makes it tough for
Yeah,
Carlos,
yeah,
right? You,
I
and
picked
you,
a cake
you river two pair as well, so now you're beating other Ace X holdings. That's a brutal river, and you know this lead on the turn might have really saved Carlos some money here. I mean, now he kind of set the price on the river by betting river as well.
Definitely. And a couple of players did just say, they're like, just call? Said against Carlos, definitely. So maybe these two players have a little bit of history, and he knows Carlos is
On the tighter side when it comes to river bets like
right.
that. Yeah.
So he's betting. He's pretty strong, and he's only going to call you with better.
Yeah, that's
you
the
know,
one.
so.
But I'm gonna go with bricks.
That's why I pulled it. I thought you had a flush.
During the week,
Also, I need to see.
I don't have time to call.
You know, and I shouldn't say it's like better, but against maybe more like seasoned players that have more experience,
Yeah.
you could definitely go for raises in that spot. You know, targeting like Ace King with the King of Hearts,
Are you ever going to try to play on like a live?
Ace King with the Ace of Hearts, sets.
You know what happens to Dallas guys when they go on to Austin streams?
Because I mean, obviously playing so much poker, everyone knows it's very hard to make a flush. So when you're repping a flush, you're repping very, very thin. Or when your raises say you're repping a flush.
I had a gut shot.
Safine did all right.
With
Yeah,
a spade.
Karma in the chest is brutal river. Yeah.
So I'm like, I have a gut shot and I have the nut flush. So if I miss,
quarter 50, I think.
That's what you guys are watching for, though, right? Nobody wanted to see the 3 of diamonds on the river.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Just
Gonna go check, check. You know?
They're into everything.
Did you watch that stream last night?
No, I looked at the
Bro, that
numbers
was a
at the
bloodbath.
end.
Oh, it was such a interesting game.
What happened? Like, how did
JD got crushed. Moneymaker got crushed.
Yeah, I don't. So it's funny because like I feel kind of bad because I'm a commentator here, and then like I was out there playing before the stream, and they were like, "Did you see the stream last night?" And I was like, "You know, I actually didn't." Like, but they're like, "Yeah, like so and so lost the X amount, so and so lost this amount, so and so was up this amount, and then lost it, and then lost even more post stream." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm here all the time, so like when I'm at home, I like to do other stuff."
You gotta have some time.
You could imagine the eye rolls I get from Lauren when I'm like when I sit down on the couch and I turn on YouTube and I put on like a poker stream. She's like, "This is like what you do for a living." No, but she understands though. Like it's not just a hobby for me. It's like a passion. And it's my job. So like I joked around when she said she rolls her eyes. She rolls her eyes jokingly, like knowing that she's not gonna tell me what to do. But she's just like, really? Like you just came from poker.
It's back in Deutschland.
I was hoping he did.
Yeah, Karma in the chat says he loves Max Payne. He or she, I don't know.
He had a seat tonight, but I had to take it because he can't afford to buy in anymore.
But yeah, from what I heard, it was a pretty brutal night for two of our more regular players on our stream last night. I think they said Moneymaker and JD had a rough night. Wow, what a flop here. Viddy gonna flop trip 10.
Viddy has my favorite hand on the planet right
Oh,
now.
really?
10-8 of clubs.
Specifically clubs.
Specifically clubs. I don't know why, because puppy feet.
Oh,
no!
And it's, oh my gosh. Oh,
Well,
no.
Karma, you asked for Max Payne. You said we love Max Payne. There you go.
Yeah, you will.
This is so brutal here. You know, and if Phil calls here,
I think Phil's going to raise.
He'd be this club you'd like.
I don't like clubs either.
But I mean,
Maybe
as
not.
crazy
I
as it
guess.
sounds, like, what are you trying to get value from?
Yeah,
right?
raise is an overplay.
You're folding out potential bluffs. I mean, now the spades get there, but that's kind of irrelevant in hold'em.
That's the most
There you go.
beautiful women in one spot.
400.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this play here. I like just to check. What I was going to say is, man, if Phil checks river over to Viddy, Viddy's going to overbet the crap out of that pot.
Right. Now he's just going to...
500 a person just to walk in. Like
Well, we had to buy a table to get in. Yeah.
Now it's just going pure value. He was going to look bluffy and try and...
Wow.
That's why pins is good.
Sure, you chalk the rings.
Fortunate for Phil that he didn't have, like, pocket aces here.
Yes.
how good does David run?
Not that, I mean, it changes a little bit, right? Because then you could, like, oh, okay, maybe he has the one ace. But that's a brutal run out there for Phil. Nice hand for Viddy, running really hot. And that's insane. You were just like, oh, it's my favorite hand. And then, boom, quads.
You're still paying for damage.
I like 9-10 suited, actually. I like 9-10 suited.
It's definitely a better hand
You
than
can have the
8-10.
sushi dinners. I'll take the.
Dude, that bill was bigger than I thought.
I didn't even say that to, like, one up that. I was just like, it actually is my favorite.
No, I mean, but that's good. I like that. But yeah, it makes more straights.
So what made 10-8 suited? 10-8 of clubs specifically, or clovers, sorry.
I'm not sure why clubs. I like dogs. Some people call it puppy feet.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
But I have won a couple of my largest hold'em pots with 10-8.
Okay.
I cracked aces and queens one time when they both flopped a set and I flopped the gut shot straight flush draw. So
Everyone's got their thing.
And I got $100.
I'm out on naked and afraid.
yeah, I don't know.
If I was a
It's
survivalist, it's like
kind of stuck.
Right.
When I first started playing, I don't know why King 6 was my favorite hand.
Wait, King 6? Are you sure? That's crazy because Salvador, King
That's
6,
his favorite hand?
King 6 suited. Like when we first started playing, like when we first started going to Windstar together, he's like, yeah, I keep winning these massive pots with King 6 suited, and so he would always play King 6 suited.
You know, and somebody said while I was dealing the other day that
Do you have a place in mind, or do you want YG's restaurant?
King 6 gives you like the most bluffing opportunities or something. I heard somewhere from I guess
No, it makes
training.
sense
It
because you have
blocks a lot
coverage.
of things.
You have coverage on the bottom end for the 6 straights.
Right.
You have the coverage on the Broadway straights.
Right.
I kind of want like Vietnamese.
So. And
Makes
then
sense.
I kind of responded with, well, I was way ahead of my time then. If King 6 was my favorite hand back in 1999, you know, before poker was even like popular.
Before there was even percentages.
Yeah, before there was ranges
Yeah.
and, you know, charts and stuff. Like
Yeah, the fun there is okay. It's got
Crazy.
fun, man.
Hey, Kicker Problems in the chat says, hit a straight flush the other day with 10-8 of clubs. I'm a believer.
There you go. See?
Yeah. Kindred spirit there.
And pass it around. Don't tell everybody though.
I'll share some pizza.
It's called. It has like a very basic name. It's called like fun. something.
Oh, they're talking about food again. Every time they do this, I'm like,
I'm actually starving. I was
really
going to order
solid
some food. And I said something to Mallory about being hungry.
But
My favorite ones are out in like in the valley, like from LA.
yeah, I usually just wait until
So one.
post.
Really?
Simplest name.
Yeah, this
Our
place is a whole
microphones,
wall
the
with no
food,
music.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not going to eat in here. I would not.
No, you can if you want. I've done it before. It does make it tough.
I would not burden
Yeah.
I saw
the listeners. Yeah.
It's like, what's that crunching noise in the background? It's like, oh, it's the chips that he ordered, the nacho plate.
It's pretty funny.
It was like SEO game not unlocked.
That's smart, actually.
SEO game 9000.
Yeah, if you're searching Thai food, it's popping up. There's no way.
Thai food near me.
half straight.
Have you ever been to Dewan? Of course you've been.
Yeah, a lot, yeah.
But every
That's
time
a
I go
good
to
hand.
So it's like long time.
Internationally.
that's kind of why I go
Really good.
Button's good, button's good, button's good. Button's good, button's good, button's good.
My showdowns have been deuce 5, 7-3, 5-3, 6-2. This was a good hand.
You play evades, Zach?
Not anymore.
When you did, were you more like a sports video game guy or like a first-person shooter guy?
Sports, but I had like Call of Duty.
I would confirm that it's
Everybody.
I was more like I was playing like NBA 2K and that.
It was weird. I played it
I've been
weird, and
50
then
on the flop
you
with a
made like
shooter.
first
He
person.
called.
I mean, you seem
Turn
Turns the
game was
flush.
6 of spades.
Yikes.
He bet 100, I made 350.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, but I said, how do you get away with it? Yeah.
Oh man, your poor phone, man.
He checked, and I was like, fuck.
They're really cheap nowadays to get the screen repaired.
Yeah, it is. This is actually my old phone.
A man with multiple phones.
I lost my 13 after it got fixed,
all over his room.
and Apple Care didn't cover
It
it
is
because
cool,
I
but I'm
didn't
also
turn
like,
the Find My iPhone back on
Oh
when
no.
it got reset.
His
So
girlfriend was there, so he doesn't care.
I haven't taken it upon myself to go spend another $1,500 on a iPhone Pro Max.
That's
again.
fair. That's
So,
fair. Good spot here for OFC to make the squeeze in the third blind.
and a legitimate squeeze at that. Those are always the best kind of squeezes, you know.
It's like, okay, it's, you like don't mind to get called here,
Like, oh, I actually have it this time.
but you're also happy to take it down pre-flop.
You watch the cartoon?
What level are you in Call of Duty?
I bet you're
There's that one on Disney called
Oh, that's so funny. My Uber Eats has me in Colorado because I was in Denver over the weekend.
Oh, you were? Visiting some family or just some friends?
Yeah, I used to live up there, so I went back
This doesn't even feel
and
like
hung out
it's
with
like
my
a
friend
bunch
and
of
his
like
wife and
Call of Duty super nerds just
caught a couple
sat around and
concerts
decided like
at
how
Red
they wanted the
Rocks.
game to be played.
Oh, the Red Rocks Amphitheater.
And it's like
Best,
I've seen a lot of
arguably the
people-
best place in the country to see a concert.
Yeah, I've seen so many people like post like Instagram photos about that. It's very aesthetically pleasing.
I mean, it looks out over the whole city of Denver, and
God, I can only imagine the sunsets from that spot.
the game will kind of start out normal. People will be using like their own stuff or a bunch of different stuff, and then like one person busts out the broadside, and then everyone turns on.
Anyone in the chat has a favorite hand, and go and put it in the chat.
Oh yeah, bro.
I need to know what all the best winning hands are, so I can just only play those. You know,
Right. Dudes running around with the fire breathing shotgun.
The worst is that on that game is
somehow King High is the best hand right now, and it will remain the best hand.
100.
And so that's the thing is like other than that, like, the weapon balancing I feel is pretty good.
I'm like, I guess I called the card. I
And
deserve
like,
to win this one.
with the rank thing, it's like, yeah, there's like
That's what we do on stream, we nerd out about
Got about 106 of y'all joining us here tonight. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Those are the voices of Derek and John tonight. Both of us are dealers here at TCH. I'm one of the regular commentators, so we have a guest commentator with me tonight, John. Plays a lot of PLO, but dabbles in the two-card game every now and then.
Felt like a kind of
Was willing to donate his time tonight.
Well, I wanted the 8, but I said 7. Like 7-0.
sounded like fun. Switch it up a little bit.
rank gun on there. So I loaded it out just like they said. And
how much shreds?
I'm on level like 360 now.
Yeah.
You're playing these games?
It's all night.
I've always played Call of Duty. It's a lot of
You gotta keep you in check.
I play with my son. My other son. So it's fun.
It's a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
That is not a good flop for Carlos. Got a king high
Double barrel
flop
Raptors second half, David.
and a defended straddle,
We go all in on Raptors second half.
and he leads.
Yeah. You a big Bulls fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does have the backdoor hard draw.
Here from the thrift store days, so I wish they were a little better, but
Yeah.
I'll
Be
rep them.
interesting to see what they do after this year.
We got 2 pair for Brass Monkey now. He's already ahead, but he's got a
Yeah.
lock on it now.
500.
Nice to have Aaron Rodgers out of the division. Well, it looks like at least.
Jets.
Yeah.
All 500.
Well, the Vikings are still decent.
Yeah, the Vikings are decent, but Rodgers has owned the Bears for
I know,
a
it's
while.
embarrassing.
It's crazy.
It's embarrassing.
Top 2 pair here for Brass
I wanna see
Monkey.
what the stadium we build is going to look like.
Yeah.
What does Carlos do here? I like a check. Because you want to give hands that might have missed their flush draws an opportunity to bluff, and it's hard to think of holdings that you could get value from that could call 2 streets. A lot of the hands that are going to call 2 streets are usually typically draws or better kings in the spot.
And then you're also going to open yourself. He's just calling Carlos again, it looks like.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Man.
Kings and 10. Kings and 10.
Definitely another spot here. I mean, well, and you brought this up earlier, right? The spot where it's like, well, I do have a really strong hand here, but he's also been showing interest in the spot every single street. It's
Right,
like,
right,
he
exactly.
could have a set, he could have better, well, I guess no, there's no better 2 pair, but yeah, it's just,
You did have like ace 5 that made the wheel that would have, you know, flopped a flush draw and a gutter or something like that. So, yeah, I definitely, I agree.
Do you use 2 primary weapons?
No, I mean, so like now that they changed, like in Warzone at least, since they changed.
man, these guys are all over the place with their conversations. They're talking about food earlier, then like tennis, live sports, now they're talking about Warzone.
See, I have to. I like 2 primaries. I do one sniper, one, and then the hurricane, and then that way it depends on the map.
Yeah. Pretty much cover all your bases.
And I love to be able to switch between the 2.
Yeah. I do use overkill, like I'll use it on like I'll play search and destroy. Like on the original like Modern Warfare, I used to play a bunch of hardcore search and destroy.
Yeah, hardcore search and destroy, that's where it was at.
Oh, we got a Robbie sighting. Jack 4. Suited variety, though.
Oh. Right on the turn.
That's funny.
And I think that's the Jack 4. Oh no, if you reverse the suits, Jack of clubs, 4 of spades, then you got the true Robbie.
It's funny. Normally Danny wouldn't play the Jack 4. I can assure you of that. But he is in the straddle, so he was defending.
And to a relatively smaller raise. Well, I guess it wasn't a small raise. You want to be defending a lot of your suited hands. That's up. I got Poker Ski in the chat. What's up, man? Very, very good tournament player. As you can see, his profile picture is literally him winning our bigger one tournament. Like 20K or something. Hope you're doing all right, Poker Ski.
A real team?
Yeah. That's game over.
It's a real shame, though. Him and his wife are moving to Florida, I think, this summer. So we're going to see a lot less of him. I guess in the sense, like, fortunately for the players, right, they're like, oh, we don't have to play against him now. But unfortunately, he's a very great guy.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, I mean, I like playing against him, you know? It's like the battle against good players.
Or like headquarters and domination are 2 ones that I
Makes the wins that much better, right?
Yes, definitely. No, I really like the rapport between most of the dealers that play here and the players here is wonderful. You know, we appreciate
overall,
the competition.
Yeah.
They understand that when we are dealing it, you know, it's our job. There's no hard feelings either way, right? There's no hard feelings when we play and they beat us or we beat them. And then, you know, obviously, our job is to deal the beats. So, you know.
I was even more nerdy. I did like.
Yeah, I mean, and I've heard this from a lot of the dealers that moved here. They're like, wow, the players here are just absolutely the best in terms of how they treat their dealers, both monetarily and just talking. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
Like they genuinely care a lot about, you know, even our personal lives. Like, you know, you see them talking to like Amber or Savannah's like, oh, you know, how's the baby doing? You know, or like, you know, how's y'all's family doing? It goes both ways too. It's like we kind of develop a relationship with all the players, get to know them over the past 2 years.
So then they just made a proposal about a month ago to redo Soldier Field into this like state-of-the-art place, but at the same time, it's not going to be like a SoFi, right? Because you're going to take something that's already there and just make modifications. Whereas the suburban one would definitely find like
Dante in the chat, I think he's one of our commentators, or does occasional commentary down at the Austin live stream. What's up, Dante?
Yeah, bot is like a machine like trained to like play as perfectly as it can. It's not really like bots is.
How was the game? It's a great game right now. Great lineup tonight. We got Wolfgang Poker joining us, and a lot of our regular TCH Dallas players: RV, Phil, OFC, Carlos.
Play it one time.
When are they building a new stadium? When are they doing that?
well, they first have to reject the city's proposal to redo Soldier Field. Because the city just freaked out that they're going to lose all the revenue because they move it away. You know?
Carlos with a suited ace
But they'll
here.
still use Soldier Field for like Taylor Swift concerts and like, or like
Because he played
big games that come into
16
town.
out. Right.
This call from the small blind here, and kind of the danger of doing this is if you do flop an ace, is you're kind of put in a tough spot, right? You don't know how good, or you don't know if the ace is good.
Probably going to have to call a bet here with the deuce.
Yeah.
And the backdoor flush draw, you can't, and backdoor straight draw. Can't, too much equity.
Was that like
Yeah, a little too tight to fold here. It's, now ahead of hands like king, queen, ace, king.
He's actually getting correct odds to call. So,
But not in like a multiplayer game where someone just like rips off like
but
25.
now he's in trouble.
47 and 2. And it was
Poof goes the equity, right? when the turn pairs the board and no diamond comes.
Right. Yeah, he comes with the lead here. Which yes, he's beaten all better, a couple overcards, king, queen, queen jack suited. But he's eliminating a lot of ace high combinations with his ace. So
every time you came around the corner trying to get to him with a
I'm not really protection from king high spade hands, queen high spade hands.
Do it over and over again.
And now OFC's going to raise here, and I think Carlos has a pretty easy fold here. Unless he's going to level himself into a call here. OFC, very tricky player. Could have just some random hands like 5-4, 8-9, 9-6, like just random hands that he's just like, oh, I got some blockers to whatever, and it's gonna make a play at the pot, and like he is gonna make the call here, hoping to hit a deuce. 5 does bring in some straights, so it might make it a little easier for OFC. Make the fold there. The 4-6 got there. Let's see what Carlos decides to do here. He's gonna lead again. Interesting.
1500.
Probably just get a call here, I'm assuming. I don't think OFC's ever folding.
I don't know though. I mean, Carlos is really good, really using his image tonight, right? I mean, I don't think Carlos and OFC have ever played a pot where Carlos is bluffing him. Like, not gonna lie. Like, it was this is actually a really tough spot here for OFC.
He's been taking a break as well.
He took a break within the last couple weeks I've been seeing.
But he might just flick in the call and like, well, good call, or like, good play if you have it.
Closing deuces.
Wow, and nice call there from OFC. But yeah, you could see the look on OFC's face, right? He's like, you've literally never bluffed me, but I can't fold.
I'm not sure.
You're looking the wrong.
Yeah.
Nice in there for
he's,
OFC.
He's repping pretty thin there. Sevens full, deuces full.
And that's the problem too. It's like, you got to think. Not only do you think about the player, you also think about like, what is he actually repping? And then when it's too little, you guys got to give him some respect and throw in the call. Yeah.
Probably a good idea.
It'd be almost disrespectful to fold there.
I don't even know all the details, so I was just trying to bring up a hot button topic.
Or yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's more disrespectful there to fold. It's like, oh, like you'd never have a bluff here.
Right.
And I'm gonna fold an over to you.
TBR.
It's a gift from.
Sean, have you been?
Yeah, it's just one of those you just pass over a donation slip with the chips, and
Yeah,
try to get a tax write-off.
What I like to do is I just when I make those calls, I throw the chips in front of them. Like I've done it a few times where like it almost looked like I was just throwing chips to them, and it didn't look like I made like a call. And like the players are like, wait, looks to the dealer and is like, did he call? And they're like, yeah, he's handing it to you
for sure. Yeah.
Oh, hey, your favorite hand. Oh, wait, no, we missed. I guess they folded it. Someone did have 10-8 clubs, and they decided to fold it. We gotta let them know since you're in the booth.
I mean, look, great fold. OFC has bigger clubs.
True. True.
What do we got here? Now we got a gutter for both Zach and Carlos. Ooh, 6 would be brutal.
6 of diamonds.
Well, come on. You're just asking for it all, huh?
Hey, we've done it before.
Run it.
We've seen.
You got it, Nick. You've got red hair. We know you don't have a soul. put it out there. 6 of diamonds.
Might work here though.
No, we lost. Carlos with the smooth gutter. 4 diamonds.
Carlos gonna river repair. And Danny with the second nuts. Let's see what size he decides to go with here. I mean, when the obvious flush draw makes, he's gonna go polar, which, you know, it makes sense when you're repping a very thin range of holdings.
Sean, how do you feel about
You want to have a polarizing bet, so you can have some bluffs in there as well. And I think you know, a lot of players make that mistake. Even I see a lot of the 1-2 streets, right? They finally make their big hand, and then they only bet like quarter pot because they want to get paid.
Right.
And then players are like, well, it looks like you're milking me, or it's like, well, I'm going to pay you, but I would have paid you 3x that amount, right?
And I definitely like the big sizing on the when the flush comes in, because you know it's not going to be too often that your opponent does have a flush, but when your opponent is just calling your bet, you know, they're never folding a flush when you bet, right? And so you're going to miss a ton of value when you do have the bigger flush and you do just try to go small, you know. Whereas they're going to fold a lot of top pair hands when you go any size almost, right? So they'll level themselves into calling sometimes, thinking you're bluffing when you go real big, but you're also getting, you know, max value from your 2 pairs and your sets and your flushes. So I totally agree. And again, that's why he won the Choctaw Mix.
No, yeah, for sure. But I mean, I mean, kind of a side note though. I mean, those are completely different games, though. I'd say.
Agreed.
Because when I had him on the commentary the other week or last week, which was a lot of fun, by the way, because he's a great player and very well spoken. He was talking about like, yeah, most of my studying has been in 20 to 30 big blind stack bets. So it's like it's such a different game when you're only playing that short in tournaments, or that's the majority of your tournament play is 20 to 30 big blinds.
Right. Yeah, your first few levels in a tournament is a lot like a deep stack cash game, but
I would love you to make
after that, you're right. It's
he wins with like 7-3.
Sub 50 big blinds is all pretty much everything.
Unless you're just the overwhelming chip leader, then it's like
right. But even at that, even in that sense though, you're the only one with that many chips.
You're right.
Right?
You have to
All
think about
your
the effective
stacks are
correct.
small. So
yep. I was just about to say that. Very true.
We both know you got a little tournament game too, Derek.
I enjoy them, but I've yet to. The big score eludes me still, but me too.
I've lost 2 so far.
As it should, you know. If it was easy, then everyone would be doing it. Interesting run out here. King high. Maybe that's hand. Check, and RV Phil will take.
I feel like RV Phil has won every check showdown that I've seen him, and it's been like king high, queen high,
0 showdown value.
Exactly. Like where he's gonna snap fold if somebody sneezes, but he checks into the shit.
It's almost like the reverse what happens to like like Garrett Adelstein, where like people don't like bluffing him because like they're like, oh, he always has it. But for like Phil, it's like they're like they don't want to bluff him because sometimes he'll make some light calls.
Yeah.
Like especially if the price is right and the pot's like not too crazy, he's like, yeah, all right.
Yes.
One flip and you're done.
That's one of my favorite lines, though, when somebody's playing. They're like, you're a nice guy. You know, and then they call. And it's like they have every intention of giving you the money, but you're like, no, fold. Please, I'm bluffing, you know?
I like you. I call.
You don't like me that much. You like my money. Here you go.
Nice got gifts for us. How sweet.
Uh-oh, we got a 7 deuce sighting.
Whose birthday is it?
And we've got a pair.
Gotta be a little girl. For Emmy, for
Oh, no.
Hayden's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are they here?
Just to bribe her to love me.
Who is it?
Just a gift for a friend's daughter.
That's sweet.
Nice.
You can't bring it on stream not tell me the name. Who is
Wait.
it?
What'd you say? Gift for who?
Really weird. Friend's daughter.
Really you have friends?
I know, right?
He didn't give me shit for my birthday.
This guy has
yeah,
friends?
you didn't give me anything.
You're probably not his friend. You know?
Your birthday. I'll give you a
You're
birthday.
You're his opponent.
A Barbie
Danny, you
or
could give me a gift
you want a Barbie?
right here, right now.
I gave you $300. What else do you
A real
I don't
gift.
know. I thought our limit was higher.
These are just chips.
Yeah,
I
I like
thought
how
we
it's
were
like, I gave you 6 big buds. I thought we're good.
It's like, you know, a nice dinner.
I'll
Yeah.
give you many more higher gifts.
For 2 people.
I expect
It actually is just so crazy to think about, right? It's like the amount of money these guys are playing for. Oh, look at this.
Oh my goodness.
I'm seeing
This
quadruple
ought to be
jiggities
fun.
here.
The question is, what do we see in the? Oh, is that it? Okay.
Put the Jack of Stars on the flop.
So it should be around 8.
Set versus set.
We're a little late tonight.
I really feel like it's gonna be a
Ace King 10 flop.
maybe or like a King
King
flop.
2 flop.
Yeah.
Like an interesting flop would be like King something and Queen something.
Is it Chinese food? What do you guys do?
Not even close. I mean, this will work, but we got a free roll. OFC's got the free roll here.
Yeah, me too. Kung Pao chicken sounds good.
Julie in the chat. The big score eludes you because you don't study enough. You're probably right.
For sure.
You're probably right, honestly. Yeah.
When I'm on a
That'll
draw.
slow it down a little bit.
Or from not, I can make everybody think I am one of the
Yeah, this is really tough for OFC because, I mean, Phil has all the like king high floats here.
You want a second green?
King Queen, King Jack, Ace King, Ace King. You can have King 10 here as well.
Count that way.
Uber Eats.
The only thing OFC's really blocking is he's got that Jack of Spades, so he's gonna block King Jack of
DJ calls me
Spades.
today and tells me he's fucked up.
Which is kind of, I mean, it's kind of bad having that Jack of Spades too. I mean, because then you remove the like Ace Jack of Spades, the Queen Jack of Spades.
Mine did the exact opposite.
OFC will make the call here.
Yeah.
Playing a little game of a chicken against Phil. Let's see how Phil does.
I think it's gonna go check.
Not the reverse.
Told me a month ago.
Okay, I'm just gonna go easy.
I'm hoping to
Kung Pao
double up
chicken.
tonight.
Boom.
Taxes are fun. They
Just let me know what I owe you.
Nah, it's
You
the
have until the
weekend,
18th,
so you get to the 18th.
What do I know?
They said the top bracket.
You bet 400?
400 into 4,200. 10th of the pot.
Interesting bet here. 10% bet on the river, and now OFC.
This is tournament only.
It's like, well, I got so much showdown value, and I can't raise, but I don't want to call either.
Right. It's a really weird spot. You know, you feel like you're getting milked by a king or a set.
But then you also want to raise to try to get it to win the pot here. Get
Right.
Jackson will bluff. Oh, no way.
Just a call.
This is
Just
great.
a call.
I want OC to slow roll the chop.
Chop it up. That would be great.
Oh, yes! Oh, okay, no. Oh, you not
he
long
didn't
enough.
do it. He
Not
didn't
long
do it
enough.
fast enough.
Not long enough.
Yeah.
He was about to, though. He was like, he did the...
Yes. Did like a frustrating hand gesture.
Does anyone else want food from Fortune House?
I feel like a good 15 or 20 seconds there would have been.
Yeah,
been nice.
totally fine. I would have been all for it.
Yeah.
And then you could have said something like, "Oh, I should have won this pot," and then turn over the chop.
You gotta go to Vegas next week.
If anything, I'll put you on Ace Queen, maybe, or.
Kind of far from there, no? I'm not on the I'm the one you should be on.
I don't know if it's as good, but
Got about 180 of y'all joining us here tonight. Again, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Welcome to Texas Card House live. We are live from Dallas, Texas currently. I want to say our flagship location, right? Out of all the Texas Card Houses, we're probably one of the busiest. Have 26 tables at our location, typically running all of the tables every single day of the week, 24 hours a day.
You said I knew you.
Whoop my butt.
Oh my God, what is Steve doing?
But you like you snowboard, right?
I love OC's sweatshirt though. Top Gun sweatshirt.
Look at
Wow,
that. 10
what
8
a
of clubs
flop.
just keeps popping up in the.
What a flop there for Zach. Nut flush draw with a gut shot to the nuts and one over. Carlos technically in the lead, but obviously Zach with the lion's share of the equity here.
Without best. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll look for it.
starting off terrible, and then they got a bunch of snow one night. It was great.
That's going to do it.
Is most people stop and
There
rip,
is
or,
the
like,
that's
in
the
that
ace high
area,
flush there
rip.
for Zach.
And so
Obviously 7-6
it's
of clubs is the nuts right now.
Go back goals, blue sky basin, get there
But
early,
pretty good turn card there for Zach. Don't think he's folding.
I did with the guys trip a couple weeks ago, a month ago. We went to Bear Creek, Beaver Creek, and then
Beaver Creek's even better.
but 2 days I went to Vail, but it snowed. The last day we were there, it snowed.
I'm good, thank you.
18 inches or something like that while we were skiing.
Oh wow, that's
It was
the best.
so great.
When it covers your tracks.
Oh, I love it.
And then you hit these.
All right, guys, you got Suzanne coming in. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
I got you.
Good luck.
All right, looks like that's going to be it for Nick. Thank you so much for dealing first half of our stream tonight. As we take a look at the winnings here, Vidi, OFC, and Zach, the big winners right now. Brass Monkey and Danny coming off a little bit of a win. And Wolfgang, Delivery, Carlos, and Phil, the losers tonight. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have another action-packed second half of the stream here. But don't go anywhere as we run a little bit of an ad here for Wolfgang Poker regarding his meetup game down in Houston.
But what about...
Guys, Wolfgang here. I'm here in Dallas at TCH, but on April 20th and 21st, I'm heading all the way down to Houston. That's right, they just opened up a new card room there, and I'm gonna come out to meet a bunch of you guys. The 20th is gonna be a live stream on their YouTube channel, TCH Live, and that's gonna be at 5:10. You guys are gonna wanna watch that. On the 21st, I'm hosting a meetup game from 7 p.m. to midnight. Anyone can make the vlog, and who knows, I might put a bang sticker on you if I'm lucky, not you. I'll see you guys there.
That's right, Wolfgang Poker down in Houston, Texas, at our Texas Card House Houston location off of 6100 West Time Road, Suite 142. Thursday, April 20th at 6 p.m. is the 5:10 live stream game, and on Friday, April 21st at 7 p.m. is his meetup game. So if you're interested in playing against Wolfgang Poker, come head down to Houston if you're in the Houston area, or if you're in the Houston area, go check out Texas Card House Houston and play some cards with Wolfgang Poker. Maybe you'll make one of his vlogs.
Time will tell.
Good job.
7.
And I gotta say here, we did have our bad beat jackpot actually hit in the Rio Grande Valley location down in Edinburgh, Texas. Straight flush over straight flush. How about that? There are two winners right there. I don't know their names, but they got to get 50% and 30% of that $46,000 bad beat jackpot. $30,500 was paid out all our clubs, and the rest of that 20% was split between the table. So congratulations to them.
Give me like 8.
Yikes.
Hopefully we'll be running more bad beats in the future. Looks like we got Suzanne dealing the second half of our stream. One of our great dealer here.
4.
At Texas Card House.
Give it a king. 7.
5.
4. 7.
I can't.
Oh no, he has.
Oh, I got top set. Top out. Probably.
Yeah.
5 with the shittiest kicker imaginable.
You got a 5?
5 over there.
Oh, we got top
Jack's
out.
4. Jack's 5.
Let's go.
Damn it.
I'm really
9-5.
hot in these flips lately.
Danny's going to take down the flip here with the jacks full.
I just call the top out.
That was my only hope there.
I wanted to hit a king.
I was calling for the 5. I knew I needed it.
Rig.
Rig.
Agreed. For me.
Yours or mine?
Thanks for rigging it for
Cheers.
me.
This one too.
Like you're fine.
Devil knit action.
I can't believe you were one of the
And
last.
since we're starting off the second half of the stream, we are going to start it off with the knit game again. For those of you that don't know, the knit game requires all the players to play just, their hands of poker. When they win a hand, post-flop, pre-flop,
Are we doing 100 or
anything in between,
100%. And Sean
they can
had-
turn in their knit button, and the last person with the knit button
I'm saying
has
that
to
we're
pay
trying
$100 to each player. So there's $800 on the line here for one of these players.
Let's just say not being here is not a good strategy.
Oh, it's on me?
Oh, so you want our same
So
side
good luck
action
to these
before?
players.
Oh, you guys have side action
Amazing. Yeah.
on the Nick game?
So if one of us loses, then we pay the other 500.
Yeah. Well, the first hand that you.
Is he giving you odds?
Danny won the flip. Just tell me Danny didn't win the flip.
Yeah,
bad
baby.
news.
Running hot.
The only wins we
We'll
won.
take it from him.
I had a Bodie and a better Bodie.
Your flop is dead for him.
You actually won, but we decided not to pay you.
OFC going to make it 250 with the 9-6. Vidi with the ace-king is going to come in with the 3 bets. 750 to go. Clean
Great
3x.
game starts, man. He just wakes up. What do you
I
want?
thought I was going to win this hand.
Red?
I love that one. I thought I was going to win this one.
Definitely one of them mind a larger size, and considering how deep they are there. So many big blinds deep. OFC will make the fold though, and he just really wanted the action against.
I almost made the move.
Offsuit.
Yeah,
Totally different.
My mom gave me really weird advice one time.
Vidi's the first one to get rid of his nip button.
Women don't want a minute.
8 players left.
They don't want a marathon man. I know it wasn't that weird of advice, but it's weird coming from my mom.
Definitely good advice.
Weird coming from my mom. It's just like, okay, mom.
Come on, Sean.
Whenever I was looking at the menu, I didn't see chicken moment. I saw like chow mein.
Start off.
No pressure.
I want to straddle the 75 and change it up.
No.
Yep,
Get
just
security
did it.
out here. Just did it.
Too late. 75.
The chips have been
Billy
dropped.
Wani, Chinese.
You can straddle the 75.
You can up to 5x.
Yeah. Whatever the hell you want. You can go on.
Playing around.
It's from the now and
You
then
go
point
on
in my life
for
where I could be like, I have no idea
math
what
harder.
Where it used to be like, you know, like
Exact amount.
like this was my
Trying to
role.
confuse Suzanne early on, you know.
300? John? Really?
Trying to keep
that
you
bad,
in
huh?
No, I have a hand this time.
Ooh.
I
don't.
Double down?
Double down. I would double down. That's better than what I had.
Last 2 weeks I made up for all my bad clipping.
You gonna hold on to the nib button or?
Sean.
Oh, thrower. What did he just win with?
Queen Jack.
As long as I got
He should.
my suit tied.
Bulls are.
Well, it's offsuit. Calm down.
I don't think I've ever passed 3 hands in this game.
I think once you were down to the final 2, remember? It
There's
was,
no way I was ever down to the final.
no, because you kept losing a lot of hands. Like,
And I'm on the hook.
I was down to final 4.
for what? Is that what it was?
Oh, because he's already
One
out.
time.
Yeah.
I was down to
If I lose, I gotta pay him back. If
I
I
remember that was
lose,
the
I
time
gotta
where
pay
I
him
was
500.
done
so.
first, so I don't remember.
Yeah, it was down to final 4, I think.
Oh man. It's gonna be down to the 2 of us.
Did you listen to the commentary when I was doing it on Friday? When you were playing? Did you listen to it?
Yeah.
Was it okay?
Yeah, it was good. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
I didn't listen to all of it yet. I'm like so far behind in that. But
I did enjoy it.
yeah, you should keep doing it. It's nice to get into the side of the mind of OFC.
Sean, I don't see an option to remove vegetables. Is that okay?
Oh, put your game face on.
Oh, almost getting crushed.
Good thing I didn't know.
See, you don't OFC.
You got the whole game or just the first half?
What? Oh, yeah.
Whole game?
Both.
It's a good game now.
It is a good game. Bulls are hanging around. Wow, big shot.
Could have been fun.
Come get some.
7, 8, 9.
Hey, I'll still take 11 though.
4, 7, 8.
Yeah,
Got like 17 or 18.
5, 6 deuce.
If we can get it below 10 for the 4th, that'd be good.
Yeah.
3 diamonds. 3 diamonds.
Go ahead and hit it out the door.
Ace 5, 6, 2 diamonds.
What are you doing?
Straddle.
If you have that number when you do it, that'll be even better.
I'll call it.
Yeah. I can call it.
That's okay.
So,
Raise, make it 150.
as long as that get.
Good and lucky.
350.
Good and lucky.
See, the real move would have been if Sean played hard against you so that you couldn't. So he wanted you to win the net game. Like every time you came in, he was re-raising you and like just going.
Oh, he wanted me to lose the net game.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, well, you won. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Ari Phil with a 10-8 of diamonds. We'll play a pot against OFC heads up, looks like. These players super deep here.
It's him.
Could be a 20K pot, depending on the flop here. Will come 5-3 deuce. OFC with the best hand. Phil, 10 high and a dream here.
So what are my odds on 5-6 off versus your ace 8?
Oh, we would have played a pot.
35%.
Oh, wow.
Not too sure what you're asking in the chat, the Nathan Julie. Is this the last table in play?
Unless you get a 5 or 6, and I win. Then you're in great shape.
Yeah, got a lot of outs there.
TCH Daz, we have 26 tables at our location. This is just our live stream table.
You and me on the first 2?
You, me, and David.
And we had a side bet?
Yeah. Gotta get out from, you know.
If we play this,
It's good when
I think we might pay each other one time.
Maybe. Gotta get out of the hot seat.
One way to find out.
It's nice when you fold and then the guy who wins the hand already has his button.
It's like an ADD thing. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Let's see that.
To make it more interesting, I think.
I like to give a path for you. Look at how disciplined I play.
One more stop.
No
One more
bluffing.
stop.
The
And
Nick
one
game.
bucket.
Alright. I gotta cheer for Steven. No! One stop. Just one. Let me down, Steven.
For those of y'all in the chat that don't know our chip denominations here at TCH Dallas, the red chips are worth $5. The green chips are worth $25. The black chips worth $100. The pink chips are worth $500. The teal oversized are $1,000. And I think the only player with a 5K chip is Steven, Mr. Delivery in the suits. His the 5K Pikachu chip. It's a lot of money in play here. And maybe for those of y'all that might be new to poker in general, a lot of the players like to stack their chips in 20 stack increments. So you kind of do the math of that if you want to count how much each player has. Obviously, we have the stacked depth on the left for each player.
We got the stop. Got the stop.
Brass Monkey's just going to flop the nuts here with 10-8.
You're the very first time I ever saw that.
Zach betting 600 here on the turn with just queen high. Does not want to hit a jack here. And look at this, 10-8 making a boat. as John comes back here.
He's made it.
Oh, appreciate it, man.
It was before I ever had a flag. And then I realized who I was playing and I stopped playing.
What in the world has Mr. Delivery done with his chip stack?
He was doing that earlier, and now it just...
Well, that's hilarious. You know, there's kind of a stigma between people that put their chips like that,
Yeah.
or they line up all of the white stripes on the chips. They consider us a little nitty. I wonder if he did it for the knit game. You think he did it specifically? Can you remember if he did it last time while they were playing the knit game? Because that's great. If he's doing it with the intention, of acting like a knit because of the knit game.
We'll count it. We'll count it. That was close, though.
Not much of a knit game, but yeah.
Wow, yeah, I don't think that counts.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's definitely doing something there. Doggy G in chat. Rom doesn't stack in 20s. That's true. He stacks in 80 plus.
That's right. Well, good thing I didn't make it straight.
I was really hoping you were going to be straight.
I like stacking in 10s, then making a pyramid occasionally.
Did he open? Or is he blind?
I guess I'm just practical. I just do my 20 stacks.
Well, you need an awful lot of chips to make a pyramid in 20 stacks, right? You got 10 stacks. So.
I've seen some people do the 15 stacks to try to get just a little more height, but it's not 20, so it doesn't like just topple over.
Right.
Oh, you're the... Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
OFC here, going for the limp raise.
And it's gonna work. Carlos with the 10x.
Yeah, this is dangerous here. I mean, both players I think sold their knit button.
Phil, what's Phil thinking? What is Phil thinking? Phil's thinking about calling, and that's going to be 250 down the drain.
Now, I mean, if you're OFC, actually, I don't know if he still has a knit button. I can't. Maybe he doesn't. And you know, if it makes a big raise here, it just kind of looks like he's just trying to block the knit game here, right?
Yeah, like he's just
1500.
stealing, you know. That's big, but I don't think that's going to do anything for Carlos. I think his hand is. I think he's in the midst of the knit game right now, and I think he thinks his hand is very strong. I wouldn't be surprised if he ripped it. Wow, that is the opposite of what I thought.
What a fold. I mean, that was the last thing I thought he'd do. I mean, maybe no, yeah, that was the last thing I thought he'd do. I thought it was either going to call or raise.
Yeah.
What a fold there.
They read him like a book. They did. It was the limp. It was the limp that gave it away. You know?
that's probably what it is, honestly. And I mean, yeah, the limp re-raise is just so hard to balance out. It's just so weighted for stronger holdings. Even holdings that Carlos has been flipping with a lot of time. Right? So maybe Carlos could like flipping for 3K or something.
I can honestly say I've only seen a couple people in the entire time I've been playing poker, and since the limp re-raise was a thing, I guess a few years. I've only seen a couple people I felt like balanced it right. Where I saw some re-raises with like pocket fours.
I've done it with deuces.
Right. Or stuff where they're blocking, right? Ace-10 offsuit, stuff like that, where they're, it's normally a fold.
King 5 suited. No. the coverage, man, the coverage.
For sure.
Before the flop, guys.
Agreed.
How many times do I need to say?
But typically I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, because if he had just raised a hand, Carlos 3-bets.
People fold pre-flop.
Oh, so he could still even 4-bet, right? And Carlos would probably still call.
Right.
It's just the limp.
What are you talking about?
The limp, massive raise over 4 callers is just so strong. Like, you always have a good hand there a lot of the time.
Minimum ace king.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I have cards.
When you can just complete the action and play a decent sized pot multi-way. Yeah.
Okay, so as I was saying,
Still ain't folding deuces.
So funny.
Danny here with a 9-8 off, getting a little out of line here.
Can we get a Jack-10 deuce? Right?
That'd be a fun flop.
Good eyes, good eyes. Carlos is trying to short it. I see him.
9-8 deuce, 9-9 deuce. There's one jack.
Gutter. Now we need to check. Feel like Danny's gonna do. Nope. He's gonna rep the ace.
No, yeah, I mean it's a good flop for Danny's range. I mean, it's kind of neutral whether he has the nut advantage here, right? Because I mean, Carlos can have all the sets in 2 pairs. Wow, but Danny could have some occasional 2 pairs as well and sets. It seems pretty neutral, in my opinion. So I think, but Danny's gonna rep the ace here with the range advantage. Wow!
What a turn. Sorry.
No. I mean,
about your luck,
this is pretty much what you wanted, right?
It just came in a little bit different fashion.
It came on the turn, yeah.
We didn't get our set. But
Unbelievable. The gut shot for Danny. Carlos with 2 pair. It is not Carlos's night tonight.
You know, Danny is playing my favorite style of poker right now. Bet, get there. There's nothing better.
What's better than turning a set? Turning a gut shot straight.
Right. While your opponent turns 2 pair and thinks you have ace king and is gonna just.
Just could you imagine if someone had king queen? But anyway, Carlos does still have a very strong hand here, beating hands like ace king, ace queen. He might even consider putting the jam here against Danny.
Yeah, Danny's only got 5K. Just so inconsequential.
Wow,
That changes nothing.
Yeah, just gonna make the call here, keeping some of Danny's bluffs in his range, and I don't see how Carlos can fold this once Danny puts in the all-in.
Yeah, Danny's definitely shipping.
Gonna target the sets, target the 2 pair holdings that Carlos could have here, because he knows Carlos has something here.
Yeah.
When he bets that size on the turn and gets called, he knows Carlos has ace jack, ace 10, jack 10. A set of 7s.
Yeah, stronger than just a single holder. And it is.
And Carlos can't believe it. He's like, what?
He doesn't snap.
So in this spot here, you got to think about what hands you could beat. You obviously beat all the missed flush draws. Flush draws, I think it's just
he beats way too much.
It's a non-decision there. And I don't blame him for that call. Danny very capable of having some bluffs there.
King queen, Danny. I'll give you king queen off. Yeah.
The very first night I
And
played
it's
with
not Carlos's night tonight. Down 12.8 thousand. Danny now the big winner on the night.
And you called me with, it was like set of kings. You had king jack and
Must be good, raising the 9-8 off.
So
not raising OFC, 3-betting. 3-betting.
Yeah, he did 3-bet, yeah.
And that's all you had was a gutter. I got there and got there. And it was
That's
one
brutal
card
for
that
Carlos,
day
and he just added on.
I
I don't know if you saw Cooper on the back there.
No.
Do you like get up that day and drive up there?
Oh.
I think I'm a maybe too.
I was like, come on, hold on. We were in that conversation. I was like,
I was thinking about making it just jamming. Everyone else is probably going. Of course it would work.
You have to talk to Danny and figure out how he runs like that, you know, because you compile that on top of being a solid player.
No.
Good and run good. How do you do it?
You clearly haven't watched the stream enough because he is literally bluffed into quads on our stream before.
Ah, okay.
He had like an air ball, completely air ball, and then just went all in call.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he's like ace high, and then JD's like quads. Or I think he even said 2 pair.
Well, if your bluffs aren't getting called, you're not bluffing enough. So
yeah. Oh yeah, it's the same. It's the opposite of the if you're calling.
How are you?
If you're not folding enough, or if you're not folding the winner, you're not folding enough. If you're not bluffing into the nuts, you're probably not bluffing enough.
Right.
Not that I'm saying you should bluff into nuts all the time, but it's like occasionally. The hand you're trying to represent is going to be in your opponent's hand occasionally.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about it. You're not supposed to know that they have the nuts.
Yeah.
You know.
Deuce or what?
Yeah, wait a minute.
I was like, you said hearts.
Okay.
I heard hearts also.
I heard firm hearts.
It's a deuce, guys. It's okay.
Where do you find these dealers?
We do have Suzanne here dealing the second half of our stream. Very good dealer here at TCH.
But apparently still needs to learn her suits.
So they're clovers, right?
Yeah. I think it was the deuce of spades, and she announced hearts.
I'm going to call them dog feet from now on now.
Puppy feet?
Yeah, puppy feet. I had the one that looks like a like puppy feet, right? How different of a game do you think poker would be if we had a 5th suit? But you still only got 2 cards.
I mean, I think the ideology stays a lot similar. I think your card distribution.
Do you think you'd have to change some of the hand rankings, like in short deck? Because flushes are going to be a lot harder to make, right? Technically.
Right. Whenever you get to 5, whereas it's going to be easier to make 4 of a kind. Or
easier to make sets. Easier to make
you're gonna
straights.
You're gonna have to consider 5 of a kind a hand.
Yeah.
You know? So it basically would be like our mixed games with wilds. You know.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking there had to be some adjustment to the hand rankings, right? So like probably straights. The flushes would probably beat full houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It would just be like short deck. Yeah. Instead of removing cards, you're adding cards, so it's going to make flushes obviously a lot harder. And
right.
Well, actually, I don't know. I mean, wait, I don't know now.
Yeah, it's going to be harder to make.
Yeah, it is. See Kyle Z in the chat. What's up, Kyle? Scoping out the game before you come out to Dallas to play in this game.
Look, he hops in the chat and he gambles all.
That's how you should do it.
I feel like that's what he does sometimes when he comes in the building, you know. Walks in the building, gambles all. I'm sure Kyle's been all in on his first hand before.
We all have, right?
Yeah.
You play long enough, it's like your seat's not even warm yet, and like all the players are like, really, you got a hand? It's like, I mean, I got something, obviously.
I was actually all in a couple weeks ago. Walked in, sat down at 1-2, waiting on the PLO seat. Got pocket queens very first hand. Guys decided to 4-bet jam on me. So.
With what? Like Shaq or something?
Ace deuce off.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was a gift.
It's 9, is it?
Gift. It was an early morning gift.
Got a hand developing here. OFC with Ace King again. Mr. Delivery with the Ace Queen. RV fell in between with Queen 8 suited.
Little, yeah.
Kyle says chat points are rigged.
Yeah, they are. They are. I mean, it's like a slot machine, you know. We target, you know, specific, whales.
She is not in the card poker at all. No. That's good. Yeah, having beer.
That's one of the reasons I'm not playing as much. Is like,
yeah. Hang out with the boys a little bit.
We'll go out on a limb and say RV Phil's going to win this hand.
I go through stretches where I like to play.
He's gonna find a way to win the hand.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
now turns a gut shot.
Just like you, I get addicted
I
to
just
something.
feel like it's totally his range. Now, I don't really like the board pairing because it's going to make it more likely for Mr. Delivery to call if he does check here and fill bets. Okay, never mind. My limb broke.
You know, if Delivery's betting here, he's
like I started with like 11. I think.
11. Okay.
he's trying to get hands exactly what OFC has to fold, right?
Part of the game. You did what you
850.
Or maybe actually no, because I mean, you'd probably expect OFC to make the call a lot of times with the ace king high. So.
Right.
Maybe trying to run a multi-street bluff here, but just gets there.
My goodness.
Just gets there. No need to bluff now.
Yeah, check.
I put him on ace king or ace queen. I was hoping he had ace king or ace queen.
Nah, he's gonna go for some value here. He's gonna try to target exactly ace king high now.
That's what makes him Danny Carl Morris.
Because it's hard to imagine Sean, aka OFC, having.
I had that backwards. I'm sorry. I thought Mr. Delivery had ace king.
Oh, I see. I see. No. So, yeah, he's definitely gonna. I think probably try to go for a sizing that will get called by ace high, and I love the sizing here. It's about 1,000. Oh wait, what? No, what?
10,000.
Okay, overbet. Overbet here.
7,000.
Not bad.
Wow, and it's kind of the reverse now. Now he is really trying to get jacks or tens to make the call here.
Just the usual.
2x pot.
We don't want the brand, so it's okay.
Yeah, river top pair like this. Very, very strong, obviously. Like your opponent's never thinking of ace queen here. Weighted towards maybe miss straight draws, miss flush draws. And OFC really considering the ace high hero call here. I mean, let's think of some hands that OFC can beat, right? I mean, hands that contain a 3 or 5 are never doing this, right? Because they have too much showdown value.
And we have a lot of flush draws. 7-8, 8-9, ace-4, but that's probably going to include some flush draws as well. Ace-4 of spades.
Fortunate for OFC, he does have the king of spades though, so it's going to remove some significant combos, right? Like king jack of spades, king. But that's also it's like almost neutral again, right?
Except that queen.
The king queen of spades doesn't exist, so it's like he's like, how do you have a queen here?
Can be arranged.
So it's like that queen is almost irrelevant now for OFC. That now that he blocks king queen of spades, like it's not a hand. It doesn't exist. Does Delivery ever do this with hands like jacks or tens? Probably not.
Do you think he does this with 8s or 9s or 10s?
Probably not. That's the thing here.
Good.
Yeah, think long, think wrong. I think on that hand, you're going to talk yourself into a call. He was really trying to get like a hand like jacks or tens to make the call. Say like, how do you ever have a queen? You're not doing this with a 6, or it's hard for you to have a 6. You're never doing this with. You're having like a boat or nothing.
Right, for sure.
If you had a pair, that queen's a back card for you. I was calling you no pair, snap.
Yeah.
No queen.
well,
Mr. Delivery is very happy that queen came.
Yeah, he's like, well, thank goodness, because I was probably still going to bluff anyways.
No, ace king.
I wonder if he would have bet the same if it came like
Let's see if that queen
a
was
deuce.
good or a bad card.
I really want to know what you had when you bet 10K into me at the other place. Trying to think
No,
of
I had ace
it must have been
Oh,
a
yeah.
10x over bet. No, not quite 10x.
It was a poker.
Is that a straddle or an open?
Straddle.
You know what I'm talking about? Where there's flush possible?
I'd be so happy to see if you had pocket 5s.
Do you mind bringing the heater a little closer?
Sure.
Yeah, it is getting brutal here. And I'm wearing long sleeves.
That one was going to let you
How do we?
No, you had it on the max setting.
No, yeah, you can't tell.
Oh, I don't think you had it on.
There you go.
I did not. So
I know a few things that could be obviously, but I don't know what you're supposed to have.
Oh, sorry.
That's
my fault. Oh, perfect.
Or how it's part of the
Yeah, because normally I can fill it from here. Yeah, I don't think you had it.
know how to look that up.
I didn't.
Oh, that's why I need to hire.
Now it's on.
All in from Zach with the ace king. Wolfgang Poker kind of put in a
Jack.
spot here.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I can look up the spot in the back.
the live stream. What are you?
Bang! Let's go!
I mean, there's not much going on up here, so I'm pretty much playing out of a vacuum too.
I'm literally in the vacuum.
Yeah, it's not much.
Does Wolfgang know it's on him?
Yeah.
Care more about this game than this 5K pot.
I think he just asked how much it was.
I'm the same way, man. Nothing's going on.
Like a Bears always watching TV.
Shit.
Raw
I don't
man.
even have money on that game.
Raise to 400. What was the original raise? 150.
Yes, I think so.
So the 50 was on. So we're 100 big blinds. 110 bigs.
No. So, oh no, I think you're right. So it looks like someone had raised a head.
Okay.
Zach 3-bet, Wolfgang 4-bet, and then Zach 5-bet jam.
And Zach says, I had it. And Wolfgang's like, no, actually, I had it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
High variance spot, and it's, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, well, do I want to take the high variance spot, or do I just want to
wait for a better
wait for a better one?
And I don't hate that at
Some
all.
of us, some of us go for it sometimes, Dan.
I feel
They
like
don't tell that they have the nuts, maybe.
with the 1500 being in there, it's probably a little closer to a call.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because he was
4K
getting.
to win.
The best part is when you go for
Does
it.
this look like a man who has 10-8
He was
off?
getting like almost exactly.
You got him tonight. 9-8.
3 to 2.
Yeah,
And then I fold
something
king
like
queen
that.
and make the
So
nuts against
nuts.
You were gonna catch
yeah,
it.
he was in a situation he needed roughly 40% or 38% or so, and he had 52.
Yeah.
So
I triple barrel.
The wrong mathematical call, or the wrong mathematical fold, but it's
I wasn't just gonna call.
significant money. Right?
yeah, and I think queens are an obvious call there. Because you eliminate the queens, right? When you have jacks and queens are a possibility versus aces, kings, and ace king.
Yeah.
It's definitely a little.
No, it's significant math. It's significant there for sure. Where Zach could definitely have queens.
It's a visual game, sir.
It's interesting. You got bottom two versus a set, or versus a flush draw. Second bet flush draw and bottom two.
So I figured I'd mix it up a little bit.
If I double through David.
Oh, look at that. We just hit the 200 viewer mark. So thank you to everyone for tuning in tonight.
200 of you.
Appreciate it. If you're just now joining us, we are streaming our 5-10 in the quarter game, which we do every single Wednesday here at TCH Dallas. 5,000 starting stack, and then match the stack afterwards, so we can get for some deep games. I mean, we had RV Phil 2 weeks ago run 5,000 into 40,000 in this game.
Wow.
Yep.
Good job, Phil.
He had a great night that night. Not so great tonight, but this is expected in a game like this. It's a gambly high variance game. You're going to have some good sessions. You're going to have some bad ones.
He's down what with the straddle on? He's down 190 bigs.
That's nothing.
That's a buy-in.
I'm honored that you think I'm this aggressive.
I didn't say lag. I said you guys the laggards.
No, you said lag.
It's a different.
In these parts of Texas, though, that's like half a buy-in, right?
Right. Yeah. Who buys in for 200 bigs?
Yeah.
See, now y'all just pissed him off.
Murky cheese. I have way more hair than him.
What's the score, Wolfgang? Is it still a 3-point game?
More hair than
Maybe, yeah, you might be up 2.
Shit.
Not Suzanne.
Yeah, Susanna
Do
wins
you
the
have
hair.
insurance?
No
No
lead.
Wig, you didn't know it?
No lead is safe in the NBA. No, I have Toronto -5.
Oh, yeah, you're fucked.
Okay. We
Yeah,
got
no.
a gutter
I won
and
the first
top
half,
pair.
that's okay.
RV Phil's not going anywhere.
You're
With
you're
that.
fucked.
At least for one straight here.
Yeah,
Depending what develops on the turn, he has the potential to turn his hand into a bluff.
definitely.
Yeah, you're up 2 shooting.
Not that turn card, though. I was thinking maybe like a heart or something rolled off.
Oh,
Or
the
an
Mars
ace.
daughter's here, you're fucked. Yeah.
Swag.
He's gonna play for her.
And a 500 from Carlos. And I think a pretty clear fold
So
from
much
RV
swag.
Phil. If he does make the call here, I think he could turn his hand into a bluff if like a heart rolled off.
Right.
He wants to play back to Carlos here.
You know? It's like, Not under.
Okay, so he has some devious intentions here. Oh my gosh, that's the money
great
card. That's the money card there for Phil to turn into a bluff. But no, Carlos keeps firing here, which has got to have raised some question marks for RB Phil, right? It's like how, like I'm supposed to have all the flushes here, like and then since you don't have the ace of hearts, obviously, like I have all the king high flush draws, the jack high flush draws.
Good job, Carlos.
Carlos, throw that in.
But incalculable emotionally.
Nice in there for Carlos, though.
And the knit game
All right, Wolfgang, I'll give you Chicago
was in
straight
play
up.
too. I wonder
Look, they have the ball too.
wonder how that feeds into their thought process whenever when it comes time to if you're bluffing on the river.
1.5 is fair.
You know.
I mean, honestly, from personal experience, it really it doesn't affect my because I actually just played on a stream on Monday and we had the knit game going, and it really doesn't affect my river decisions as much. It affects what I decide to do pre-flop a ton, for sure. But in terms of like river decisions, flop, turn, whatever, I play the same. It's just not going to call. Or,
Yep.
you know?
Really don't care.
Played the stand-up game one time, so obviously I'm not
Different suit.
super versed.
There's a lot more lax play.
I mean, it depends. What am I being ordered to go to court for? Am I trying
Okay,
to be
Danny's
like,
got a couple
fuck
A's.
you, Judge, or am I trying to be like, am I trying to play along?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of that fold
Oh yeah,
there
and I definitely don't win this.
with the deuces.
From Brian?
Yeah, I mean you're really deep with the knit game on. I feel like there's not going to be a lot of limp, you know, making moves.
Oh, dang.
So, but I also feel like you're going to
I was
go
about to overpay anyway.
multi-way, several ways, right?
You're already going to get your price already.
Yeah.
The issue, so I do agree with that statement. My argument against would be you're out of position, so it's already going to be really tough to get the max when you're out of position against the majority of players.
Right.
And you also have reverse implied odds of getting set over set.
You got rid of that knit button and then.
Yeah, one hand.
When you're, it's like the deepness plays both ways, right? It's like yes, you could win a big pot, but there's a reverse pot odds of getting set over set for a 20K pot. That's brutal, right?
For sure.
It's like 3%.
It's like you almost don't want to be that deep when you're playing small pocket pairs like that. You'd rather be maybe a little less deep, and then just like, okay, I'm willing to get it. I mean, obviously I have a set, so I'm never folding, right? It's like when you're 10, 20K plus deep, and you're like, all right, I have bottom set in a 3-bet pot. Like it's kind of scary, and it's like a king high or ace high board.
Right, for sure.
I just have a couple on this.
Oh! With authority!
You know, Zach Levine
Not the best flop here for Danny. We'll check his option on the turn again here. OFC still has the jack high flush draw. Looking to fire some money in here, and it's not a small bet here. 15.50 to go.
Drake is yours. That's real.
Danny's hand too strong to fold the one bet.
Yeah, the winner of this.
Oh, he did bet the flop. Excuse me.
No, so they have to play another play.
I'm so sorry. I'm doing terrible tonight, guys.
Yeah.
He did bet the
loser
flop.
Of the first
Get called by OFC.
I
I think Danny could call one more street here. Just not having that queen of hearts. There's available flush draws for OFC. Obviously, the nut flush draw still available for OFC. So he likes not having that queen of hearts. Should encourage him to make a call.
So after this game, the winner of this game and the winner of this game and the loser
could also be a spot where you just let it go and find another spot, which you know,
so whoever the lowest
don't mind as well.
Yeah, and you know, a little bit of player dependent as well.
Yeah, they're basically competing for the pleasure of getting.
So like the heat are the 7. So technically, if they win,
he knows that Danny's going to be a little bit more prone to fold. Yeah, the under pair to the king on the super wet board.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely a double mind game there, right? Because Danny knows that OFC knows that Danny, plays solid ranges, and is like, is he really gonna have a bluff there on a king high board when I smash that board?
Right. And if he does, how much equity does he still stand there, right? Like when he has ace 5 of diamonds or something right there, he still has a ton of equity in that hand. And even when he misses his draw, he's still going to bomb that river,
fire,
right?
Yeah,
and then now you have to assess that with second pair. So yeah, same as earlier, better spots. You know.
Sometimes everyone thinks they got a plan, and then the 7K goes in, and know.
Is that Helmuth or Mike Tyson?
Jack or Queen are the only two cards that'll make me fold.
He has
What
queen,
about
he has-
let's see here.
So you think he has exactly Queen Jack?
4, 3,
In that range.
7, 8, 9.
Come on, Suzanne. We need
Like
to see.
Jack,
We need to
Queen,
see sets on these A-side boards.
Anything but that. More Jack Queen.
I'm being too nice to these boys.
He had it. He had it. OC. He had it.
I don't know.
They're still talking about that hand where Steven had that massive overbet.
I've been watching film.
Are they? Do they have the stream on behind them today?
I would prefer.
We haven't done that in like a year.
Okay.
Maybe longer than that.
And then the Queen saved me a ton of money.
Probably about how long it's been since I've commentated, if not more.
Oh, really? On the Saturday stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not good for the game. And
You got flushes both ways.
well, we want the game to be fun and inviting for people that maybe traveled out of town to play in the game. So like when everyone's just staring at the screen and like, oh, you had that, you had that.
Pay attention to each other while we're here.
Yeah.
He tried.
One more, maybe.
One more, maybe.
One more bullet, maybe wins it?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Honestly, the dynamics at a live stream, when I got to play on the live stream, it's just the dynamics are so much more fun, right? Because no one's on their phone because they're not allowed to have their phone. No one has headphones on because they're not allowed to have their phones, and it's just like we're just playing pure poker here. So I have definitely noticed the more live streams I've been playing on, the dynamics are just so different from the standard live games on the floor. Right? People have they're playing like Candy Crush on their phone or listening to music, watching a movie, working on their laptop for work, or like putting in a sports bet or something. It's the live stream games which I think are here to stay, just because it kind of goes back with the roots of poker.
I mean, you
right?
kind of have
It's
position
just
after I bet, like,
we're just playing and talking. That's it.
Right.
I don't have chips left.
No, I agree, and I think I've noticed over my poker career, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, with me being a dealer part-time and player part-time, I'm not fully a professional poker player, but
yeah, but you take it seriously. You try to win, and
my best winning sessions or my highest hourly come from days that I don't wear headphones, I don't get preoccupied.
It just makes sense, right?
Where I participate fully in the game.
Have a good table presence. Like people, it's like almost. Sometimes people are almost more willing to give you action, right? When you've been the fun guy at the table, you have a rapport with them.
Even if they haven't seen you play a hand, that you've still had good conversation, you've still had a good time in the game.
Yeah.
There you
So,
go. Spell against me.
I'm putting it here.
Super, super important, and I can't stress this enough. And I almost want to say for people that are striving to be maybe professional players, and I think Danny and Steven have said this a lot too, is you want to be the guy that makes the game fun for everyone. And at the end of the day, if you're not the one making it fun for the people that play recreationally, you're hurting your own business, right?
And some of the best professionals that I've seen in this building are some of, they're pretty tight players, but they're always present in the game.
Yes.
Oh, call the foul. Give me 25 and I'll pay for the. Give it to me, David. I'll pay for the whole thing.
The 100.
Anybody else get food? Just us three?
Yeah, I think one of the few times I wear headphones in a game is like if there's someone like really, really annoying, or occasionally in a tournament if I'm like really tired. It's just like I need something to keep me going here.
And in a tournament, I think it's a little bit different. Having like a low volume music in your headphone is okay. Tournaments, people tend to be a little bit more quiet. There's not as much conversation.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's like, well, I'm going to listen to music.
Right. And so it keeps you from maybe getting anxious or You can sit there for hours, not get a hand, so rather than try to make something happen when you shouldn't, it keeps you in an okay mental space. So, interesting turn card. Sure. Phil doesn't like it. He's probably going to go check and then think he's going to bluff it. I mean, he's got two spades.
Yeah, it's spicy.
It would be terrible to get check raised here.
I think he's going to check anyways, just because
really good.
He's going to check for one of two reasons. One, he doesn't think he can get Phil to fold a 10 or even or 9s or
Right.
8s, and he doesn't want to get blown off his equity.
Right.
Which is 2 overs, gut shot, and nut flush draw.
Right.
So it's in case Phil is trapping with a boat, or and also in case he's trapping with a boat or deuce, like a deuce.
Okay.
So I like the check there from Steven, but nice spot there for Phil.
And Phil definitely is going to have some deuces there.
I get you some names
Yeah.
if you want, some Indian.
There's an Indian place called Roti, like in Uptown. It's probably a little bit Americanized, but they have really good vanilla there.
Nice.
Sounds like they're talking about Indian
I swear
food
to God, I
downtown.
need to see it on paper.
Big fan of Indian food?
That's how they say it. That's
Not
how
really.
I've heard that
Oh, really?
I love Asian food,
I'm really curious.
but Indian food not so much. And
sit
you know, it's
well.
funny. I'm a Mediterranean food. I love Mediterranean food. So and it's like right in the middle.
Yeah,
You know,
you
it's in
seem like
between
a guy
the
that
two.
likes like a wide variety of food.
I do.
But see,
But yeah,
again,
Indian is
it's different for everybody,
Indian
right?
is
'Cause
not
India
way up
is-
there. And I'll be honest, I haven't had a ton of experience with it.
Maybe you're still planning to find a good one.
Yeah, 10 or 11 times in my life. So.
You need some home style
Start with
Indian
like
food.
7.
I think. Maybe the ones from the restaurants are just not right for you. But you need to find an Indian family and like just have their the wife or husband make the homemade food for you because it's so much different.
That's a good one.
You got Hayden in the chat here. Hayden Fortini says, "What's up, y'all? Who's in the booth tonight?" You got Derek and John Winfield. I'm sure you've dealt with Hayden a few times.
I have dealt with
I do a
Hayden.
party here the day
Definitely.
before. That's what I'm planning to.
My dad has a restaurant off in Fort Worth. Which one?
Ace A7 here for the Kings.
Very familiar.
Delivery missing this flop.
Probably dealt to Kim a little bit more than Hayden.
To a
But
better location.
We should do like what we do at.
It's a brand new. We have a wedding.
Hayden,
We just all meet up.
Hayden's a very, very kind and polite individual. Never seen him rattled at the table, which is impressive. You know, a lot of people.
Mark of a true professional, right?
A lot of people let the emotions get to it.
I mean, half the game of poker is a mental battle with yourself, right? I mean, you're controlling the tilt. You're regardless of what's happening, card distribution wise, or flop, turn, river. You're just playing your best and letting the cards fall out.
So does this chat over here show
Where's your place in Fort Worth?
all of the people in, or just the people that have decided to hop into the chat? Like we have some people that are watching that aren't in chat.
Yeah, there's some people that are just lurking. Yeah,
What are you guys doing in there lurking? Come hop in and participate, you know?
Yeah.
Got some good conversations going here.
Oh, wow.
I know a lot of people like to have the stream on when they're driving, so they just listen.
Oh, okay,
audibly.
yes. Do
They
not
treat it
open
like
chat
a-
if you're driving.
They treat it like a podcast.
Okay.
I know a lot of our viewers do that, or they'll just have it while they're playing. They just have it on
Yeah, when it's
in the music so they can hear the action. So
Gotcha. Well, I haven't read a single bad beat story over here in chat, so that's good. You don't have to read any of
Put a
it.
couple good games on.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Until now. Now they're going to all come flooding in.
Deal with this riffraff.
Exactly. People we know.
and you're gonna flop a set and just that no action, unreasonable. So upset.
I heard somebody, this is an interesting topic. I heard somewhere 9s flop the most sets.
we just all help pay for the food.
Now, in theory, that's crazy, right? All hands flop the same amount of sets if you play 100% of hands. But in actuality, or in theory, in this scenario, 9s flop the most sets because they see the most flops.
It's just a block.
Right, out of all of the pairs, I think that's a good range, right? Like 9s and 10s, or 8s, 9s, and 10s
Sure,
are going to
yeah,
be
one of
your
those three.
raise,
I'd give
call
it
a
three
3-bet,
sure.
3-bet, call a 4-bet type hands that are going to see the most flops.
They can withstand the most action
Right.
that are the middling pocket pairs. That makes sense. Jonathan Winfield.
Then it's illegal as far as I know.
I tried to bluff Alex.
The guy with the beard.
Yeah. Well, here.
Uh-oh.
Do you mind seeing the?
No, I mean, I suppose. I didn't like dress up for you guys. I'm in my work shirt. So
It's okay.
this
How's it going?
This is
I'm
Jonathan.
Derek. John Winfield. How's it going?
With me,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like a bookie, like
Never here.
DraftKings.
Just a real brief visual of us.
He basically lives.
Oh.
I'll let you buy out now for 1,000, Wolfgang.
Here's the thing. I think we should go for the 2-for-1. We are.
What do we got?
Oh yeah.
Brass Monkey's got the nuts here, huh?
Mid-range assassin.
Danny's got a gutter.
Oh my God. How do you call that? Yeah, foul.
Let's go, baby. Nick Nurse wants
You'll
to
go
travel.
1 for 1, you'll tie it, and we'll get OT. There you go.
There's that gutter.
His last game coaching the Raptors.
Golly.
Danny with the gutters this evening.
Hitting
What
all
a-
the gutters tonight.
Oh.
In the playoffs.
And, you know, Brass Monkey actually has a really good hand to bluff catch with, right? I mean, other than the 7-8 getting there,
Yeah.
the diamonds break off.
Everything does.
7-5 also misses, right? So hands that Danny might turn into a bluff. 7-5 of diamonds. Riveting a pair, but making thinking his pair is no good. Trying to get like 8s, 9s, or 10s to fold.
He goes with the slight over bet. No bite. No
Good
bite.
luck, good luck.
Whatever.
Nice hand there for Danny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've heard this from another player before. Eventually, everyone runs this hot, right? What differentiates players is how much more value are they getting from their good hands when they actually do make it, and how often are they able to get hands to fold with their bluffs. Right?
How much do you want to bet?
Yeah, because if everyone was the same player, right, everyone would be breaking it, right? Because over like a large sample size, everyone's going to eventually run really, really, really hot.
Right.
So, yeah, what makes Danny a really good player, right, is he's willing to have those certain bluffs in the right spots, and when he does make the nuts in certain spots, he's getting the max.
Right.
Oh, okay, it looks like Hayden remembers you now. Says, what's up?
Nice. What's going on, Hayden?
All the blood, they saved all the bloodshed and slaughter for last night. It's like, tonight's been pretty quiet.
I like a nice, fun, nice friendly game.
Oh my god. It's funny that we both laugh like that because it's just so ridiculous.
It
right?
is. It is. We're seeing some really good flops.
Seen Air yet?
What a setup hand here.
Air, the movie? Have you seen it?
Turn is going to kill all the action, though, unfortunately. OC with trip deuces, RV Phil.
It's about the Nike. It's about the
tacos whole cards on the river.
Well, I'll get back to your topic here momentarily, Mo. I actually have a counter to that.
I know. I should encourage it.
I mean, that just
Cocaine Bear
kills.
last night.
Was it funny? Yeah.
It's so
It's
silly.
just so dumb.
It's just dumb and
Is it
funny.
like too silly or is it okay?
You really saw that?
I thought it was. I had nothing to watch. I thought it was
Turn
funny.
his hand into a bluff here.
There's always play Call of Duty and watch cocaine.
Wow.
Just don't admit to
Wow, that's really tilting for OFC.
Don't admit to.
Now, you play a hand you're not really supposed to play.
That's like
You flop the
guy that
joint.
started Nike, or the creator of the Nike shoes. He
And
was
then
like a track coach.
Yeah.
And that was
I
like
love
the
worst
story
run
of
out,
Fontaine
yeah.
was the first guy to
Turning his
test
hand
the
into a
waffle
bluff,
shoes and
blocking
stuff like that.
top
It's a
boats,
famous movie,
Right.
right?
So, the
So,
guy
and
Steve
but he's obviously
Fontaine,
repping
he
the
was a
flush
famous
here.
track guy, and he got
Or I mean, he can rep a
killed.
boat too. He can rep a boat too. Having some reasonable blockers
I
here.
don't know, he got killed, but he had like a lot
Can
of
get
humans.
exactly what
That's just
OFC
his
has
story.
to fold, but no, he's going to make the call.
Interesting. Yeah,
Knowing
this
that
seems
Phil
like,
can have some
I just saw
bluffs
the
there.
preview, and it
Right.
Seems like a lot of it's just
The
like
the
they're-
4 heart or the 4 flush
them
boards
figuring out that
are
they
probably
need
what
to
the more
pick an athlete to, like, go
over
for
bluff
it and how
spots.
they
Right?
would- found Michael Jordan before he
Oh well, now I can rep something. It's easy to have a flush here.
Right.
Yeah. So this is one of the later.
But what I was going to say, the counter of the Mo's statement there, guys, obviously aces flop no sets. Nobody folds aces pre-flop. But how many times do you raise or 3-bet or 4-bet with aces and you don't see flop, right?
Exactly.
So,
Because that's
you're
part
not
of the
the
fear.
argument, right? Yeah,
That's part of the
you're always going to want to see a flop with 9s. You're never going crazy. Right? You're never going to go all in to get
That
a
one is a good.
Right.
I'm leaning more to what John is saying.
I'll give it to you. Yeah.
It's the hand. It's the pocket pair that is going to see. It withstands the most 3-bets, and it's going to call most 3-bets, right? Because like, flop a set, I'm going to get the money in.
Right.
And you're never folding to just a single raise.
Exactly.
You read.
At the end of the day, it's probably just even, right? like it's
Yeah. And
over 1 million hands, right? Every hand's going to flop.
if you play 100% of hands, it's a little jealous of Mr. Deliveries here. Always have been. Got some good hair. Ooh. Floor. Oh no, what do we got here? This is an interesting one. So see, this is one of those case in point with the 10-8 suited hands, right? You know exactly where you're at. Even 8-7 right now is almost flipping with kings, you know? So Mr. Delivery knows where he's at in this hand. Even if he's against an overpair, he can withstand some heat.
Yeah.
He also has some bluff opportunities, you know. There's
Bluff. I love that.
Whereas Danny's just like, you know, where am I at? You know, and now.
And that because of that, that makes a lot of sense why he would check that flop. I imagine he's checking that flop with 100% of his range.
Right.
All of his overpairs, the ace kings.
Even his sets.
Even his sets, I think. Yeah.
8 of diamonds. Nope. Okay. See, I was looking for max pain too.
Yeah, not the best run out here. Does bring in the one-liner, but how many sevens does Delivery have here, right? So Delivery's kind of weighted towards. I don't know. I don't.
It was just a raise and a defend, right?
So he could have all the sets here. That would bet the flop after once checked too. Checking the turn is interesting here, and this might be one of those overbet spots again from Delivery, knowing that it's hard for him to have a 7 here a lot of the time. Not exactly an overbet, but a large bet.
Yeah, he's trying to get called by ace-10 overpair. That's what happened.
6, 7, 8, 9.
I know I turned it over like a bluff, but it's values.
Okay.
Slow roll, even though he
Oh
showed.
my god, I folded.
It's almost like when the opponent turns their hand over that quickly, it's like harder to read their hand.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, what?
Yeah,
what is
you
that?
know, I think it's happened twice in my life, but I've rolled over a bluff with like such veracity that they just.
I've done it
you
twice.
know?
Yeah, I've done it twice.
Not for the whole thing. But
Once, like 4 months ago, and then once, like 4 years ago.
And their reaction is priceless, though, right? Too, because after they muck their hand,
They
your hand's
realize
still
they're slowly
exposed, and they're like,
realizing
oh.
the realization that they just got bluffed and they folded the winner.
got crushed on both. Thank you. Mr. 10-8.
You know, you can never win, right? If you muck your hand,
Right.
So I think if you're bluffing, I mean, unless you're like, you know, maybe embarrassed, just announce your hand. But I always just turn over my hand, and I imagine you do too. I guess.
Yeah. I do not muck when I get called and I'm bluffing.
Yeah, I almost it's almost like additional equity later on, right? Where it's like, well, people know that now know you bluff occasionally.
Exactly.
Show your bluffs with pride, guys.
Because occasionally they'll fold on accident.
Yeah. And then you're winning. That's like, then you're just like printing money, right? If you had the worst hand and you won the pot,
right? Exactly.
At showdown, that's just like the most rare occasion. It's like it's probably 1% of your lifetime. Probably less than that. Probably like 0.1% of your lifetime hands.
For sure.
You got somebody texting you, or do you look it up?
Vance Viaga in the chat says, I want to play there one day. Well, you can if you're in the Dallas area or any of our Texas Card House locations. We have locations located in Austin, Houston, Spring, Texas, Edinburgh, Texas, down in the Rio Grande Valley, and Dallas. And we're also about to open our second location here in Dallas, in the city of Las Colinas.
So hoping a 6 came out.
I was just doing 10 seconds.
Very exciting stuff.
Pressing it and
He had Queen Jack.
I saw his hand.
Oh fuck! Whatever. I just made that.
The AQ.
I had a dead green. Perfect.
Wow. What did he have?
It would be so. I'm not gonna say it right now, but
I had ace queen.
ace queen. Yeah.
Should have.
It's the suit.
RV Phil here with a sexy hand.
No picture card except, of course, my king. But I'm like, come on, God. Whatever.
Mr. Delivery, the exact same hand he just won with. The 8 of hearts, 7 of diamonds. I love those little mathematical anomalies in poker where you get the same hand back to back, or
What's gonna happen? Everything's possible, right?
Yeah.
7. I've seen you do it before. Check.
what do we got here? Not a whole lot. Got a Jack 10 and Jack 9.
What? I told you. I told you it was going to OT.
Bad call. It's a really bad call. That's how
Small
you want to
pot,
get to
small
overtime.
pot.
That's how you want to get there to overtime
10
with
to
the bad
9.
call.
Well, I want to be able to.
No, you take it. You take it.
I want to be able to bet you straight up once it gets to OT.
That's a really bad call.
Was it really?
Stevie,
Yeah.
do you believe me that it would have called if it wasn't
Oh.
a queen?
I believe you.
No. Playground justice, baby.
As bad as you wanted to call with the queen,
Ball don't
I
lie.
believe that there was a...
Ball don't lie. It was a bad call. He got hit outside the 3, and then he pretended to get up, and he was not even in the process of shooting.
If I call 50.
Oh!
I mean, I'll bet.
Playground justice.
Oh no.
That's their hero, right? Siakam?
Who is that? Oh.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Replacement.
I'll play with that stranger down there.
Looks like I'm gonna buy a
Queens are
belt
better,
now.
is all I'm guessing.
I thought Asian guys were
This
actually.
guy, no, he's not actually. That.
Normally I 3-bet this hand, but David hasn't opened in 2 hours, so.
He was really fun the last stream I played with him on.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he was really fun.
Really fun doubling up there.
Let's see here. Pocket nines. The hand we were just talking about that flops, that apparently flops the most sets. Seeing the flop here.
Missed it though.
Yeah, missed it. Vidi here with the best hand.
Brass Monkey with a good,
Now he gets to compete for a
a
chance
very
to
nice
bounce by the
bluff
bucks.
candidate. He could hit him with the raise here.
And they're deep enough to where he could get
today,
Vidi to
boys.
fold here. Luckily, he's just going to make the call.
Call.
Hey, we
I feel like that's a tough ask 3 ways for a jack to, just a single jack to be good here.
It feels better to try turning here.
And what's he beating? Queen Jack? You know, Jack 10?
Agreed.
That's never happened before in the history of
Me
NBA.
crush pre-flop too.
Good no 3-bet, Zach. Good no 3-bet. You wouldn't
It doesn't
believe
say on my
it.
phone, so I'll just look at the receipt up there.
I had the perfect bluff
I like
catcher,
knew
so
where I was at too. I just didn't have the courage to go with it. The power.
ace jack and ace of
Nice
hearts.
hand.
Yeah, he's jack.
Well, but with
I
ace
did the
of
same
hearts,
thing
and
with
bluff,
Jack 7
bluff
should
flush,
have.
which is yelling, would be raising.
I didn't put you that big, but I put you on
I was in
like
pretty
9
bad
big.
shape on that flop.
Thought I could
It's
get
like
you
the
on.
same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I could still have overpairs tomorrow.
I need another
I had a
heart.
heart, and it wasn't as.
I don't know if you're batting it. Maybe.
Holiday.
Everyone's going to feel on that.
Alright, we got another Jack 9 suited.
You prepping on?
Ooh, okay. Now this has firework potential.
For you will for the rest of your life. Everybody is.
Nobody's making a straight flush. I mean, that's a little bit. Mr. Delivery and RV Phil both have gutters and backdoor flush draws. Get
Got 5 blue chips over there?
5 of hearts.
Roughly? Yes. All right, thank you.
Front door diamonds do come in here. Phil with the best hand. Delivery has some bluffing potential here. But Phil just keeps firing, so it's probably just going to get delivery to fold. Unless he feels like he can rep the queen jack, having that jack blocker. Tough for your opponent to have a flush here when the king of diamonds is out there as well. So, I mean, he's only really repping ace-high flushes at this point. And it looks like he is going to try. To use that diamond as a scare card and has some equity in case Phil doesn't have a flush.
I didn't mean to flush to you like that. I'm sorry. I have that effect on.
And it's plays like this, right, that can net you a lot more money when you know, probably 90% of players probably just like, oh, just fold. Like,
right.
why would I turn this hand to bluff? It's like, no, because, you know, Deliver here is the thinking player here. He has that jack. He could have the queen, jack of hearts.
Check on your queen.
Yeah, I mean, if it were, like you said, 90%. So if it works 9 out of 10 times, he just stole $300. He's going to steal 2,700 versus losing the 800 that he raised, right? So he's winning $1,900 every 10 times he does that. So he's winning 190 of that 300.
Right. No, yeah, and it compounds, right?
Right.
So it over a career, over a lifetime, it adds up, obviously. So, and just
a lot of Ruth's Chris, you know.
7 hearts here. Does pair the board now, so definitely a good spot for Dilver to go for, right? He can rep the straight, has that jack blocker, can rep boats now even. Hands that would do that would make a lot of sense, like 10-7, Ace-7.
Ooh,
oh, he just checks and gives up. Oh, man.
Wow. I think it would have worked. You know, I don't know. RV's
it's tough.
RV
though,
feels a
'cause,
little
like,
stuck right now.
Yeah, what is he calling with
Right.
that on that turn, right? So,
Fields on the board.
I think he was really just trying to take that pot down on the turn. And if he got called, he was done with it.
Yeah.
Just because it's such a polar board. It's like he has a flush. He could have flushes here, and then now when the board paired,
right.
he could have boats.
You know, and that's another mark of a really strong poker player is having the plan and sticking to it, right? Like his plan was to bluff raise the turn because he knew he couldn't win any other way, and when it didn't work, he was done with the, you know. His plan did continue to the river. It was just for the bluff to be over with, you know.
Bring him home.
Whereas some people, they'll make that turn bluff, and then they get to the river, and they're like, okay, now what do I do? You know?
Right.
Well, this 8-7 is hanging out in Mr. Delivery's hands. I'm not sure if he's giving them back. Got the flush draw here. Ace high board for Carlos, which you know he doesn't love.
Yeah.
It's Houston.
Adele.
Yeah.
I can't sing like Adele. I can get close.
I was singing this in my car.
I'll send you a video later.
It's about an hour left in our stream tonight. If you've yet to hit that like button, please smash the like button, especially if you've been enjoying Mr. Winfield's commentary with me tonight. You know, if we don't hit a certain number of likes, we'll never invite him back on. So. No, I'm just kidding, of course. I've had a blast so far with you, and hope you've been enjoying it.
We're doing good. I wish it fit into my schedule a little bit more. Maybe we can make that happen.
Yeah, you literally are you typically work 6 to 2, right? Like that's like the worst time. A lot of equity here for Mr.
Yeah, what I was going to say, what a turn. You know, it flops the flush draw, as naked as can be, and then gin on the turn.
25 stack and 2-5. Come to Texas Card House if you want the action. Only here.
Thank you for the promo, Danny.
You got it. You owe me $100.
He's like a TCH lifer. You know, he's like TCH for life.
Well, you know, he came down here and
when we opened, right? That's how the story.
And then he moved down here. I think 4 or 5 months after we opened, he fell in love with the place and the people, and you know, the winter was pretty nice that year, minus the 1 week that it was really frozen.
Yeah, that's every year though, right?
Well, we get like 1 week that's just terrible.
It's just torrential. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's an amazing place to play. You know?
Yeah, his story is definitely really cool. Like when I commented with him, I mean I already knew it, but he told the chat and everything where. He was saying he probably wouldn't be playing poker anymore if TCH Dallas was anything, just because he was so burnt out. He hated the grind, which is like the miserable regulars, just no one talking, no one having fun. And then when he found TCH Dallas, he was like, "Oh my God, poker's fun again!" You know, like.
And he took a little bit of maybe not a vacation. I think he was still playing a little bit, but he wasn't playing as much. He's been working with the startup for a while, so
I guess he's talked about
it. I've actually hung out with Danny a few times outside of the building, so yeah, finding something else that you love and want to invest time in is very important to keep the love of this game. Because if you're doing this for a living, it's not as fun, you know. So, but it is still a game. So you gotta try and keep it fun. So. What do we got here? We need a 10. We need a 10 river for the spice.
No, Safine's also at piles. Apparently the guy was dumping lots of money.
I feel like Wolfgang's going to call a bet here.
I took his seat for the stream, and he goes on the other table and just runs it up.
Phil, what
I
are...
don't know who Pikachu is actually, but I said he has a Pikachu chip.
Oh.
I feel like that's a little ambitious unless Phil's got some plans, you know?
Oh, it's a Euro. His name's Andre, but he goes by Pikachu.
3 clubs now, but it's a pretty scary board here. A paired board with the ace, ace, king, queen. Like, so many boats available.
I'm like, I'll wait for a few hours. Oh, I'm fine. I'm out.
Wolfgang's going to pay him off.
Wow, nice bet there from Carlos. Going for the max value. Wouldn't be unreasonable. I mean, if you are going to bet there, I like a bigger bet because then you're trying to get chops to fold.
Right.
3 players' money gets in. I think
because he's playing trip aces with the king queen.
That makes me feel better.
You'd want to try to get hands like ace jack, or obviously any ace to fold, right? That's not a boat.
Because you're chopping with all aces.
But actually, kind of surprising that a weaker hand did call off there, and nice hand there for Carlos.
I think because the flop checked through, so...
You're right. Makes a lot of sense.
Even against, even against hands that make it there.
So even though Carlos is somewhat new, still getting a little tricky with him.
Pretty much every time that board
It's good.
is like you're 1,000%.
Yeah, I always say anytime you can get your opponent to start scratching their head, whatever you bet was the right bet. Right. Confuse and confuse your opponents. Got a lot of Wolfgang fans in the chat, Chad and Jims. Let's go Wolfgang, and then let's see a big bang.
Well, it's not going to happen on this hand, but I have been on the good and bad side of a Suzanne cooler before, so I know she's capable of putting out some.
I got a 2.
Some difficult ones.
Wow.
Sick cooler.
I'm going to fuck you up, dude. I swear to fucking God. Give me a chance.
Two winnings here, Danny, Viddy, OFC, and Brass Monkey, and Zach. Up quite a bit. Danny the big winner. Carlos currently the big loser, along with RV, Phil, and Wolfgang. And delivery on the side of the charts, so we typically don't see him, right? No one we see him up the most, but you know, I guess you could say he's down the least.
Yeah,
out of the group. So
that's almost
a
win, right?
That's a win.
It's like leaving Vegas even.
Leaving the blackjack table even.
Yeah, it's a win.
Restrat. Restrat will just be 100.
Whatever, dude.
Oh.
I feel like if you leave the blackjack table down $5 up in Oklahoma, that's even though, because they charge the
more than even, because you definitely played probably more than 5 hands.
Yeah, for sure. Charge you to lose.
Oh no, I guess
interesting concept.
It's the 50 cents.
Yeah, so it'd be 10 hands. But if you're betting more than $50, it's $1.
It's $1, yeah.
Yeah.
So I do remember that.
Depends on if you're a high roller or not, you know.
So
yeah,
stupid.
I feel like that's a terrible business model.
You smile, dude.
It's a very greedy business model. You know?
So
because it's the tribe council that put that into play.
My understanding is that that's the only way the casino profits, because all the money goes elsewhere.
Whoa.
That was my understanding. So like the annies, that's the only money that the casino makes. Apparently, or I could be. I could be.
Everything else goes to the actual tribe itself. I mean,
or something like that. Yeah.
But
But the tribe owns the casino. Nah, yeah, I'm probably just BSing. I don't. No, but I've heard that. I'm not just BSing. I've heard someone tell me that. it's the same thing with the dollar drop in poker. Like that's the only thing that they make the rate goes elsewhere.
Yeah.
Something.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
Bringing in chesses. This is a really good stream. Really appreciate that you're enjoying it.
Ooh, we got it. Interesting.
There's some potential here.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
No. Couldn't put it in the middle of the board. But yeah, with the 4s, the 5, 6, and the 2, 7, 8s, that could have been a
6-5-4 flop would have been fun.
so nasty.
A 6-5-4 flop with 2 spades.
Yeah. And the 4 of clubs. 6, 5 of spades, 4 of clubs.
We can only hope, though. I mean, there literally been times though when either me or Ben Kirby have commentated, and there was like one card that would have been the action, and it came, and like we called for it. We are like, oh, the 6 of spades would be crazy here.
Nice.
That was the craziest hand I've seen on our stream. Was it was Rom against, I forget the name of the guy. I think his name is Nick, but it was in our Tuesday game, and Rom turned the straight flush.
Hi, come forward with the pot.
Giving it was like
it
gave someone like a 9 high flush or 10 high flush. Rom turned the straight flush, and it gave someone else a set.
And you know the ranking of the suits,
and then the river paired the
It
board.
goes spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs.
Ace of spades or ace
Is
of
straight
hearts?
flush, and boat.
Yeah.
Oh wait, are you gonna steal them or are we gonna spread them? Up to you.
Spread them.
Spread them.
Steven really wants.
Oh, I love this.
They're doing a flip.
No.
That's what she said, by the way.
Shit.
Oh, halfway.
50-50.
Wow, that's a good sweat.
Wow, nice, well played.
Thank you.
So Steven always does this thing.
High card.
High card for the pot and the shot pot.
Quick spread him.
You can see where
Nice.
I only knew where the 10 was, so I
By
was
the
hoping
way,
to
if
be able to 9 or
anybody
lower.
wonders if this is a group of degenerates, that just proved yes, it is.
He's the flip king, from what I've heard.
I don't know. Everyone's
Maybe
persuaded, but
everything has just changed, so I don't know.
it's trying to wean myself off them because they do just tend to break even for
Steven,
For a
it's
decent
a,
amount of stress.
it's
For
a
no
flip.
good reason,
You
yeah.
gotta be mentally
At the end of time, you should be even.
You have a
Plus,
nice start to
interestingly enough, I was
It's
reading
good
about
for the
this,
game, and depending on what player group or player types you have in your on your table, you know, it could liven it up, which could have been a dead game. And
Yeah, it was funny. I was pushing into the big game the other day,
gambling addiction and the reward
and
centers.
Steven was
Like a
in
big
it,
part
and he
for
I was watching the last hand. It took a little while,
reward
and
gambling. It's not actually about
somebody showed up with something interesting on the river. I forget what it was, but Steven was like, "What's going on, John?" And I was like, "Oh, just coming over here to watch some questionable game theory for half an hour." Give the guys a hard time because everybody comes from a different, a different standpoint. Everybody's got a different outlook, a different view. I'm sure there's some similarities, but everybody. That's why they have the GTO and exploitative, right? Everybody plays a little differently, so.
And it's fun when you have a table or everyone that plays a little differently and all that clashes, right? Because then it's just like it's always fun when you see a player like not expect to see something, and it's like, oh, all right, and that's the beauty of the game, right? There's always something new.
I think they're good for the game. And
That's why I jokingly just say questionable game theory because everybody has a different, different
Well, it's
viewpoint.
this tastes too good to be any good for me. Like this must be terrible for me. This is like
So look, Viddy here with the king
I
deuce.
think of like a
Bet the flop. Now checks turn. Carlos with the top pair. We'll check again.
No, it's not that I'm like deceiving.
And I think Viddy's just done with his hand here.
Probably. He knows Carlos isn't gonna
They taste so good. It's like very clearly just like engineered.
fold an ace too often. So
They have to be bad. They're just so exciting to form. I'm like, I don't want to get too wired up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nice hand there for Carlos. Wins 1,100 off that hand. It's so crazy at these stakes, right? When you just profit 1,100 with just the ace set.
yeah, just off a pre-flop raise
and a call. Yeah.
Ambulance.
And then a c-bet.
You got a 7-2?
7. What'd you have? 8-7.
You sure?
Nothing.
Kings, huh?
Definitely a negative I've seen well, obviously, other than the obvious, a negative I've seen, right, playing a good amount of poker, right, is your value of money can change, right, and it's
Sorry, I'm not used to winning. Sorry.
you know, when you're maybe, especially people I've talked to, some younger people I've talked to, right, they might have worked like an hourly job at Chipotle or like McDonald's or something. They're getting paid 10 or 12 bucks an hour, and then they come here and play poker, buying for $100, and they quintuple it up,
right?
And they're just like, wow, I just made $400 in 2 hours, right? When you think about it like that, it's just like so crazy, you know?
For sure. And that's why professionals log everything and have a much larger sample size. But no, I totally agree. You know, whenever I go grocery shopping, I'm like, okay, this is 40 cents cheaper. I'm going to make sure I snag that. Or I see a sign that's like, save $3 if you buy 3 items. Well, I'll make sure that I buy the 3 items to save the $3. And make sure it's like something I need or whatever.
Yeah,
but
buy in bulk or whatever.
I'm constantly, making sure I'm saving 30 cents here, 50 cents there.
The biggest thing for me is the gas.
But I have no problem blasting off 500 in a bluff, and like it doesn't even hurt,
Yeah, no. So Lauren and I are like very frugal in our lives with not eating out too much because it's really expensive compared to like grocery shopping or cooking at home. A game I played in, and she's like, wait, how much do you normally buy in for that game? I'm like, oh, like $1,000. She's like, $1,000? like what? Like we're like nickel and like you're saying nickel and diming. Like she'll check the Waze app for like gas that's 5 cents cheaper, and I'll drive 2 minutes down the road to get gas that's 5 cents cheaper. It's so crazy to think about here. Oh my God, those are quads. And Carlos has an out.
I always think that's funny when you're like,
wow. Don't tell me we're going to see. Okay, if at any point, I mean, I love Phil, but if at any point, for the stream, let's see the King of Dimes in reverse, Suzanne, just one time.
For the stream.
For the stream.
For the stream, and it's too bad that the bad beat just got hit in Rio Grande Valley. Wouldn't that be sick? Like they need the money, they don't care, but what a... I mean, even a king, I would have been okay with a king or a diamond. It didn't have to be the king of diamonds.
Yeah. The King of Diamonds is probably asking a little too much. RP Hill was just the absolute nuts right now, flopping quad queens. And actually, JD last week flopped quad queens of his own in the Tuesday game. Gonna overbet the pot now. 3,200. Knows he has the nuts. Trying to get the Mac, get paid by queen, or by, not queen, obviously. Eight's full of queens, was what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Jack's full.
I mean, how do I possibly miss that?
That's okay, Phil.
Show
him the quads, Phil. Show him the quads.
King of Diamonds. King of Diamonds would have been the only card that could have saved you.
Guess they don't know.
Yeah, they probably don't know.
Lucky there, Carlos.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, consider yourself lucky.
Well, not if a king.
But yeah, it was like I told, she was like $1,000, and it's like, we're looking to like save money on like gas. And I'm going back to the gas thing. It's like I've told Lauren, I want to be in a point in life where I don't care about what gas station I go to, and I feel like that's gonna be a while.
Yeah,
like that's
for sure.
Because I feel like even if I had even if I made like $250,000 a year, I feel like I would still be like, I think I'm gonna get the cheaper gas over there.
Yeah.
But it's like you made it when you just do not give a crap about what gas station you go to.
Well, and I feel like I'm a long way from that too. I feel like I won't care whenever it's not me filling up my car's gas tanks. Like if I've just got like an attendant for all the cars in the garage, like I don't care. He just has.
He's the one that fills up the gas for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's how you
and
know
I'm still probably getting a good deal there because he's got like a tank full of gas that it gets delivered to, and he does the pricing, and he figured out who has the best deal, So I'm still winning at that point.
You got about 5.
Danny with aces here against your favorite hand. Oh wow! No, what a flop! Good job, Suzanne. What a flop! See, flipping.
This is a coin flip here, or
Kinda
pretty close.
Same scenarios against the Kings earlier, right? With the 8-7.
How deep there? I could see Wolfgang put in the raise here. A lot of his range is going to smash this flop, right? He could have all the 2 pairs, the sets.
It would not surprise me if the money got in here.
David kept asking me at the beginning how much I had, so we could add on.
Oh yeah, sometimes you gotta know the big stack is 7.
Let's just make the call though. Taking the lower variance
your red
route,
sevens?
and probably happy you did, right? When he finds
Two
the
red
4
sevens?
clubs on turn. Does it pick up any additional
I'll give you
equity
1,001
or find the
max bet
flush?
20.
Right.
Georgia.
And if I'm Danny here, I'm definitely going to size up here and maybe try to think about how I could get all the money in by the river.
What are you going? If you go
I like a-
1,500 here, that leaves him with like 3,400
The
into
Oman game?
I like 11 or
48.
1200.
Okay.
Still going that massive.
1,200. Pretty solid read there, sir.
I've been doing this a while.
I'll stay for a little while.
I'll play a little bit post street.
Yeah, I like 1200 because then it sets up a 3700 river jam, which is just chef's kiss. There'd be 41 or 42 in the middle,
Right.
puts
With
Standard game
37.
yeah,
So
puts hands like king jack, ace jack in a very tough spot. They're probably still going to pay you off.
Yeah, you big babies.
Wolfgang obviously now getting good implied odds to hit his flush because don't see Danny really folding any hand, any overpair, even when the diamonds come in. It's just kind of.
That's why I keep walking it off. Just
And it's probably not going to be an easy fold on the river here either, because Danny's going to barrel his ace king, ace queens.
And it's just beautiful when the bottom card pairs too, right? Now you're beating hands like Jack 10, so
I gave him one
he has an
yesterday.
easy show for value here.
another poker place.
Other hands like queens, possibly Jack 10. Yep, and he set it up perfectly here. All in to call for Wolfgang Poker. Probably one of the tougher spots of the night because he knows Danny's capable. Does he want to call off here with a 10? So let's think about this here from Wolfgang's perspective, right? Danny never has a jack here.
Right.
So it's, like over pairs and a lot of, king, queen, ace, queen, ace, king.
The fact that he has 2 diamonds is nice.
Yeah,
because he's blocking a lot of the flush draw bluffs.
Sure. But we talk about blockers, but I like to talk about relevant blockers, right? Having like a king of diamonds would be more relevant.
Right,
than,
right, because
queen of diamonds.
Ace
So it's actually still pretty tough, I think. No, but you're right. No, blockers are definitely super important. I mean, Danny can't have ace 10 of diamonds. He can't have.
It just limits a
9-8 of
few of the
diamonds.
bluff up or combinations, but.
Yeah, but the more relevant ones, I think, are like king and queen of diamonds, where they're like open-ended straight flush, or open-ended with a straight flush draw, or flush draw.
Right.
King, queen of diamonds is the hand you think of. Ace, queen of diamonds, ace, king of diamonds. So those are the more relevant blockers, I think, and this might convince Wolfgang into a call here. Blocking of boats.
Which, if that's the case, he should have just got it hit on the flop.
Yeah.
But, there's something to be said about
just calling to let your opponent bluff off.
Calling in position.
Obviously, I'd much rather have a jack here if I'm wanting to let Danny continue barreling with bluffs. It's super close, though. I think if I'm in this spot, I'm just going to fold just because, like we've said multiple times tonight, just picking a better spot.
Yeah.
I think if you have a jack, say you have a jack with no diamonds, I think you can just make the call.
Yeah.
And hope they don't have an overpair.
Right, exactly.
Danny marks.
Did he hit kings?
Nah, I would have kings.
That's a jack. I'm going to be so satisfied when you watch back 15 minutes later, he does have kings, and you have like pocket tens.
He did things.
The better to stack you.
Danny having a great night, up almost $10,000. These are wins you typically see in our Tuesday game, on our Wednesday game.
Definitely.
But to be fair, when they have the $50 straddle on, it is a 25-50 game, and they're playing for 10K plus stacks.
Right. Yeah, when the 50's on, it changes a little bit.
It's one of those hands. The coverage.
Yes.
you got the king blocker and the 7 blocker, so you can can rep a lot more straights.
Yeah, I actually heard Matt Berkey talking about opening King 8 suited under the gun as like that's how wide his range had gotten. In,
oh my god!
In his
what?
Wow.
And Carlos not electing the 3-bet is going to save a ton of money here.
Oh yeah, they do.
He's not putting another dime in that pot.
Then you have this.
He's like, well, I slow played this, but I still don't think I can call.
These guys don't get to use their dashing good lucks, so they got to use magic tricks. They don't get it like our life.
Wow.
Surprising here.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, because you can be in the situation you're in right now, right? You're dead to runner, right? He's dead to 6-6 or 6-queen or 9-9, you know.
Another 6 would just be so gross.
Start with 4 PBR.
Well, actually, no, the queen would be more disguised, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, another 6 would just kill all the action for delivery. I mean, 6 of spades doesn't change anything here. Still losing to flop flushes, still ahead of king high flush draws.
Right.
So
if you're going to call the flop here, I think at this point you are going to call the turn. Wait, was that paint? Okay. I was like, I saw paint.
I'm wondering kind of what he's putting him on there. I mean, it has to be specifically king high flush draw, right?
Which, if he is, then he's just going to fold this river.
Right, now he's losing again.
So, I mean, if you are going to make this call on the flop, I'd much rather have the queen of hearts, right? You know, at least you have some equity against ace-x holdings. Yeah, I think the call, I think just folding the flop is perfectly fine in the grand scheme of things.
Trying to pick a hotel to stay at.
Which is, yeah, I mean, your hand just never really improves. It's the best it's ever going to be. So.
I think the only 5-star hotel in all of Texas is in Houston. It's called the Post Office.
And now, when you do end up arriving on the river here, you kind of just...
That would cover most of my...
The 3Xer.
Paris can actually make decent bluffing hands.
Yes, folks, that's a 5K chip he just tossed out.
Yeah.
5,600 was the bet.
See, the crazy thing, right? If it doesn't come the king, then he's just in a miserable spot. Because now it's like, well, now he's just repping super thin. It's a flop flush or nothing.
Right.
Or a boat. Like
right.
It's aces full, king high flush. Or nut flush. Pocket Rocket 215 asking in the chat, whatever happened to trick time from the streams? Man, that question is just never going to get old here. Do you know how often they've been asking that? At least once, twice a month for the past year.
I have seen him a couple times, but I'm not really sure what happened. I do know that he's his strategy is a little kind of all over the place with his game style. So.
Which makes him very tough to play against.
Right, but if you see enough of that, you know, live the replay feed, if you see enough of his interesting antics, you know, you might be able to develop a little bit more solid strategy against him. So I understand not hopping on stream
into the nuts, yes.
For reasons
My
of
favorite.
keeping people out of your strategy.
Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. And I mean, so that question has been brought up to some of our players that have guest commentated, like Danny or Kyle or Cashman. And I saw it pop up in the chat, and I kind of answered it for them. I was like, well, I don't think they'd be playing on the stream if they did think it mattered to them, or if they were worried about people analyzing their play or anything. Because right at the end of the day, if you're playing close to as 100% balance as possible, it doesn't matter if they can see your hands, right?
Right.
Shorty's here somewhere lingering.
No, he asked about you the other day.
Oh, and it says he's all right. He's just not doing much poker anymore. Okay. On to other things. Oh no. Danny running hot here.
Wow.
In the box.
And it's blind versus button. Man. So we're 100% seeing 4-bet. Oh, what? That surprised me.
Tell me about these tricks.
Oh, by the way, I saw Martin. I played with Martin.
Man.
We needed that ace
Come
to be
on,
like a deuce.
Suzanne.
Yeah, we needed that ace to be a deuce, right?
Come on.
So how do you make a limit? Like, what do you?
In position here, queens. Still too strong to fold.
Ooh, on a 10? Okay. Well, a 10 they can't fold.
Okay,
Right?
okay, you were just doing it like just for the shits and giggles.
Yeah.
I think Dan here is going to probably check a lot of the time, as well as Vidi.
Some of it, but no, I've forgotten a lot of stuff. And some of the actual
Such
sleight
a
of hand stuff.
relatively dry board. You know, you can expect Danny to occasionally do this with hands like Ace King.
I can never do anything like
Hands like Ace King probably only get 2 streets of value. But
I can do a few things.
yeah, so I mean, now he's going to play it very similar to how he would with Ace King. But he's using a sizing that probably he wouldn't use with Ace King, right? Ace King probably going to fire a bit bigger to put jacks in tough spot. But now he's trying to target a hand like queens or a hand like king jack. Which he does beautifully here, targeting exactly what he's wanting to get called by. And that's what makes him a pro there. Nice play. Yeah, and it's so interesting in the game, right? Because each street, your thought process is changing, right? It's like, okay, now the turn comes. How much am I in the bet? Or like, what can I target at this point? And then, like, say if Danny did have Ace King, I think he'd probably fire like a pot size bet. On the river.
And see, I would also bet large with Ace King there, but I think personally with kings, I'm not at the level Danny's at, so I'm probably check calling with kings there.
Yeah, I was about to say I was probably
I'm
going to
let him bluff.
Yeah.
But that I'm missing that value because he's checking back. You know, so I just missed $500. So.
And $500 over the course of multiple sessions adds up a lot, right? And so
and that could be $10K a year.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we were talking about earlier, right? With what differentiates the good players or the great players from the average players is, you know, I mean, 9 times out of 10 people are probably just checking with their kings there and like worried about that ace. But you know, Danny understands the game dynamics and knows that Vidi is a very solid player. It doesn't have to have an ace there.
Right.
He flopped the flush.
I flopped enough flush.
Hey, JD in the chat, and that is JD from our live stream because he has.
Look at all those blue poker chips in that photo.
He must have just stacked someone and was like, haha, like took a nice little.
Like 40K.
I love
chips.
Nice. I love the profile pic, JD, and it says, "What's up, chat? Just checking in to see how the stream went." It's going very well so far, JD. A lot of action and a really great game.
Queen would have been bad.
Queen would have been. Well, no, because sixes.
There's a pot. Sorry, I forgot the board pair.
Hope you're having a great Wednesday, JD. I hope to see you on the stream next week. Got Umid in the chat as well. Hope to see him on the live stream again soon.
I know, it's always fun. Always fun. David's good luck charm, though. I don't know if I can keep playing the stream.
I'm your good luck charm.
You want action, Carlos? Okay.
Where do you want it?
Very loose. Very loose call. Just have jacks.
Thanks, Phil.
Oh my god.
I heard it too, but
Zeklops equity.
a bunch of it, yeah.
The queen 4. It's like a coin flip right now. Now he's actually like, well,
yeah,
can't
see,
fold now.
Yeah, he's wishing he hadn't.
7.
Howard,
I don't even bother.
Like another fire here from Carlos if you can find it. Has all of the aces, all of the ace king. Has to be a little bit concerned now once Zach makes the call here again on the turn.
Yeah.
What's the river going to bring?
Nope. 5.
King high is good.
It's good.
King high is good. Yeah.
The maximum value there with king high.
I mean, look at that turn.
Get a value bet, right? No.
Shoot, big hand.
Yeah, it's not waste time.
Yeah, the 3 of hearts gave him a gutter to the wheel too.
Wow.
Did you give me action?
Zach with the queen 4.
That's nice.
Sit down, Steven.
He flipped it over and said, "Look at that turn."
David would never do that.
Why do you
God, can you imagine the king of diamonds going over?
Brian when you have
And like the table might have been like, oh my god, bad beat, bad beat. And it's
Somebody has to inform them that it got hit yesterday.
Where's the hijack?
Are you in for all those chips or are you up?
The hijack's pretty complicated. I just stick to the share.
Except Danny, everybody's even.
What did you have?
That's interesting. They're at hand 94. They'll be close to 100 hands, huh? Is that about average?
Yeah, 100 or more.
Yeah, we can't ask for a better award.
The highest
You never gave me a rebate.
half I've seen was Sal.
Okay.
I think he dealt almost 70 hands.
Wow.
In 2 hours.
I'm very sorry.
Must have been some.
They were playing. I mean, I think in other Theo's defense, I think there was a lot of just raise and take it.
Yeah.
And then they were also playing really, really fast. There was like no
card,
tanking.
card distribution has a lot.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah. Something consistently like deals like J and Nick are going to get like typically 50 to 60 hands in
the hour.
In 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
175.
It's not.
Yeah, I'm assuming J Nick probably pumps out 35 plus hands an hour and uphold them.
It's not
Closer to 40 probably.
Tell you.
Yeah, not really.
10.
That's pretty
6.
solid.
Hi, Sam.
See you down there.
Thank you.
I was ready to surrender.
You got any big trips planned soon or for the year?
See this right here?
I'm going to Vegas the end of May, and then I have to go back, or I get to go back in the beginning of July for a wedding.
Oh, cool. Just a close friend, family member?
Yeah, best friend.
You need to talk to one of us, I can't
And then I'm going on a cruise to Bermuda, beginning of June.
Oh, so you like cruises?
It'll actually be my first cruise.
Oh, okay. Okay. Probably good to not make your first cruise a work cruise, right? So.
But
no,
I
hope you enjoy
I
it.
don't drink, so should be interesting being on the boat with a bunch of drunk people. So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I was on the cruise for work, I did walk into an elevator once and just saw like a suspicious-looking substance on the ground, and I was like, "Oh, that's vomit."
Yeah.
It was like kind of yeah. It was a good time though.
But that's okay. Bermuda is one of the only places in the Caribbean I haven't been to, so excited for that.
I heard it's beautiful.
Yeah, and the cruise is pretty cool because I'm leaving from the East Coast, like up north.
Interesting.
And so it's like
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's like 2 days to get to Bermuda. So there's just a ton of open sea time before you get there. And then it's at 2 different ports in Bermuda, 2 days at one day at the other. So you're at the island for like 3 days. And then you have another 2 days back.
Yeah. So 7-day cruise.
But like he only does.
That's what ours was. Yeah, we had. I mean, even to get to
Spielberg, like
our first stop was in Honduras. We had 2 days at sea as well.
With 24.
Not with 26-year-olds.
You never hear much about him. I mean,
Yeah, so and I think I like that more than
he doesn't do commercials.
just
He has like a very private.
overnight getting to the Bahamas in the morning, and then you do that, and then next day you're at another one. I feel like you're kind of rushed. In
No,
that
days at sea
scenario.
are good because then you can explore the cruise, do the activities.
Right.
Because I will tell you, the days at port are exhausting. Because like you have to wake up really early because you're trying to get out, spend as much time in port as possible. You're spending all your time in the port, and then you're rushing back to get back. It's just,
That's why I thought it was also cool that there's like 2 days at one port and then 1 day at the other port.
Oh,
It's
2
like I
days?
don't have to immediately leave
Oh,
the
yeah.
ship.
See,
I can.
no, that's good because I was just about to tell you my favorite cruises are when you have an overnight in a port.
Yeah.
Because then you can just hang out with the locals and just even sometimes just spend the night at maybe an Airbnb there or something. No, that's just the way to do it. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, definitely that will be the play for the overnight is grabbing a hotel room or Airbnb.
I mean, I wouldn't. I don't
Not
think
cramped up in the
You're not counting inflation, right? You're counting like his dollars.
the cabin.
Like Marlon Brando, maybe like with inflation, might be the highest. I don't know.
Rasmussen here, going to find the ace on the flop against Kit Phil's Kings.
Of course.
The ace magnets, as people like to call them.
And I know that the number one person is also
Phil's
like
just
the most credited actor of all time, like most
Firing into it.
Samuel L. Jackson.
We'll go. Carlos. Carlos had like 10-9 suited.
Let's go.
He's been in a lot
I'm
of
looking
shit.
this up.
As
I
soon
still
as he
think
said
I
that,
still
that's
think
what I
it's
wanted to
the
put on
I still think it's the rock.
No.
Who is it?
Samuel L. Jackson.
So
Samuel L. Jackson.
he's been in everything. All the good movies that you see in the 90s, like he'll make an appearance. Why can't I not?
I rarely get to see it.
Plus he
Interesting
was in
graph.
3 Star Wars movies.
I was
And
just
he's really good.
like
He's good at it.
weirded out by
What's his
it.
name? Daniel Day-Lewis.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Literally, he only does
Pulp Fiction. Mace
like
Windu.
these, like
Yeah, Spectrum Internet went out.
well, like
Yeah.
3 years to do a
The one who
movie,
does
and then
the credit wise.
Another big bet here from
Yeah.
Brass Monkey, and
where he's
Needed
like all
dues.
these.
Never
Pills
seen
folding.
the Star Wars prequel.
Bills folding.
Never seen Pulp Fiction?
it gets kind of stickies with these strong
Never
pocket
seen
pairs sometimes, though.
Yeah.
Any of the Marvel movies, because he's in a bunch of them.
No available flush
I've
draws.
seen
Rub up on a lake.
Marley?
Straight draw on the flop got there.
Dude, Pulp Fiction is
top-
like
that's
one
a
of the
top
best
five.
movies of all
Pulp
time.
You ever seen The Godfather?
Best movie of all time.
He was in the
I like
third
that.
Die Hard
Goodfellas
movie.
better.
Ever seen Rounders?
Yeah, he was in Die
Yeah.
Hard.
There it is.
I saw that before, but I only saw that like 3 years ago, before my meetup game at Rounders. 'Cause I
Wow.
thought it'd be embarrassing if I went.
Okay, here comes the bluff from Phil. Oh no.
Coming to America. You had a camera.
Oh, I haven't seen
Well, that's gonna get a call.
You find a movie I've seen.
Ooh, baby.
Well, I mean, it accomplished what Phil wanted it to do, right? Because I think he was probably going to call anyways, but he was like, you know, let's see if I can just get a $100 block bet here. See a showdown.
$100 to prove the disappointment. I can dig it.
Button's good. Button's no, that was Morgan Freeman.
Nice hand there for Brass Monkey.
I'm saying what?
But there's no
Like
way.
epic movie.
I
as
like
in a
movies that's a crime that I haven't seen.
concept long.
Do you have any favorite movies?
you
Now
definitely have
that they're talking about movies
let's
in
see.
the
Have you seen-
on the table.
Okay, have you seen like I'll go more recent. Have you seen The Departed?
I like
Hands left.
heist movies and like old,
Have you seen The Great Escape?
like
With, that's really good.
Inglorious Bastards. Inglorious
old
Bastards.
war movies, like
That's an old
Longest Day.
Inglorious Bastards.
like medieval times.
Oh, okay.
And
I'll stop
like
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, then
Yeah,
Camelot. Camelot.
yeah, so
Like the 1980s Camelot.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like Troy is probably one of my favorites. But yeah, stuff like Braveheart and earlier are good for. And then like sci-fi stuff, I suppose.
Wow, wide range
I'm
there.
a little nerdy. I like
Oh, so you like Lord of the Rings, maybe?
Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings.
Very cool.
Fucking snakes. I'm a motherfucking plane.
I'm gonna think of a movie. Wolfgang. Let's see. We've seen poker movies, so let me think of another poker movie.
Rounder.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh no. Flush
Well-
over flush here.
Sorry, Taco.
We need a good poker movie or show.
He doesn't go by Taco anymore.
Molly's Game.
No.
That's good. but
Burrito
like,
now. Actually,
Something that's more
no.
like
It,
that chess
so
one.
I played with him like 3 months ago, and someone like called him
Something that
Taco, and
gets
he was
you
like,
excited
"No, I
about
don't go by that anymore."
Yeah, I think
And
he
then
sold the
someone
restaurant.
else on the table. Yeah,
Actually.
exactly. That's the main reason. And then like someone else is like, "Oh, is it burrito now or something?"
It doesn't have to be gambling.
So you think Zach sizes up here? Goes real large, 550 or more.
Roll in
No, you're right. You're right.
poker than in chess, though.
You're right. You're right.
How much has Grandmaster?
450.
I'll take the under.
Yeah, and you have pocket queens, right?
Can you beat what's his face?
Now you spring the trap, right?
Yeah, you like the raise here.
He was a grandmaster.
He was.
Just because now
No,
there's
you never know.
obviously the Broadway straight, so you
Every time
can
I beat my son, he says you're a Grandmaster.
you can rep hands that would have weaker flushes still want to call.
Right.
How often do you beat your son?
So what do you go to here then? That's tough because you go
Just all in.
Let's say
Yeah,
you go
there's not-
1.2K, you have 2K behind into
And it was a nightmare scenario here. Setup hand. Zach drawing
One
dead.
song, one song only.
Spade.
That should be.
I want him.
It's him.
Wow.
and Wolfgang's back to only down 2K.
Yeah, nice hand there for Wolfgang. And Zach's is playing solid all night and just runs into a cooler there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously there's argument, right? You could just fold that free flop.
Why you criticize
But who's here to fold, right?
25?
Yeah, but see, it folded to Zach all the way on the button, so he can
Nice
fold
hand.
that. But I mean, it's a reasonable raise in position. You're supposed to be
Suited,
raising
somewhat
yeah,
connected.
Supposed to be raising what 70-80% of the hands on the button, something
When
like
it's folded
that.
to you, yeah.
Or like a
Another king of spades.
duplicate.
Actually, a joker.
Yeah, we'll just call that one cooler.
Yep. Good job, Suzanne.
Zach now down about 2K.
I believe you. I would thought it would be a bit.
JD needs points. I don't know if I can even hand out points, because I totally would give JD some points if I could.
Oh, you said you were going for my twin.
I don't know if JD can
I know,
handle
nice
any
thing
more
is,
cool points.
You know, I know Taco's not going to pressure me to do 8 more.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely not. Usually one and done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to find yourself one of those smaller hands.
Uh-oh, can we do it again? Can we flush over,
no.
flush again?
That would be in line with how Zach typically runs on our stream.
Yeah.
I literally remember one time where I think he lost with aces like 3 times in one stream. And he actually mentioned that to me the last time I played with him. He was like, "Oh yeah, you commentated right when that stream I lost with aces 3 times." I was like, "Yeah."
That's not fun at all. Oh, what do we got here? We don't have a whole lot of anything.
Just a whole nothing.
I'll take water.
Yep.
Zach using his position here.
There goes the bluff. It works. It's good.
You win the big ones, Taco.
Do you have regular? Yeah.
You gotta win it.
No, that's okay.
I missed everything.
If you had it, it was
Give
okay.
Suzanne a tip, but she coolers me every fucking time.
Yeah, I wouldn't tip that one.
How much was a race creep for? 150 or 250?
Danny, you want to straddle?
Yeah.
150. Pop an 8.
Nearing at the end of our stream here. Appreciate everyone that's been tuning in for the past over almost 4 hours. It's been a great stream so far. Really appreciate everyone.
Oh, if I wake up with I'm just gonna ship
Hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday evening. Continues to have a wonderful rest of their week. Do have a stream from Austin tomorrow at the same time. And then we'll have our final table of our Saturday tournament. Me commentating with most likely Mitch.
Here's my 100 from Wolfgang, right?
Are you gonna play this Saturday?
No. I rarely play Saturdays. If I do play, it's just like a little bit of cash before the live stream. Occasionally though, it's like I'll text David and be like, hey, I kind of want to play the tournament this weekend. And he's like, oh, no, go for it. So he's very flexible with that because he knows I like to play.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say I wouldn't mind occasionally filling in for you if you made final table.
Okay. Yeah, good to know. Sorry to see our refill streak come to an end. Yes.
I had like 2 pairs.
He has been running quite hot here, but you know, all good things do have to come to an end eventually.
One day I don't bring
Jack of spades in his
3
hand.
bullets. I only brought 2 bullets today.
Oh yeah.
Triple straddle on my part.
We save.
Yeah, you saved
Save 3,500.
I mean, yeah, everyone's been in that spot right, where you just feel like you cannot lose a hand. And I guess one session for me, 6 out in particular, it was last year playing 2 5s. I think I bought in for 1,000 and ran it up to like 8,500 in like 4 hours.
Okay.
And I think I got aces 5 times. And it was only like a 5-hour session too. It was like what is going on? Like I cannot. Like people were just like in disbelief when I kept like 3-betting and 4-betting like in like one orbit. I think I had 2 aces twice. And, like I 4-bet someone, the same person
Both
twice.
times.
Yeah, and it was just like everyone's like, what is going on?
Yeah, and then they're just like, people are like, you know what, screw you, guy, you ain't got it.
Yeah, all in call.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone has those sessions. I'm sure you can think of a couple handful where just like I did not lose.
For sure.
Actually, one hand I remember that you texted me that time that you let me and Sal stay in your comp room at Choctaw.
Oh yeah, okay.
You had left to go home and you're like, yeah, the tournaments are not working for me. And then you played PLO and got to think of the exact same hand, I think. And then you like popped the flush.
Yes, that was such a crazy hand. I had
ace queen something.
Ace queen 7.
Same exact hand, right?
And he also had ace queen 7. I had 2 clubs. He had 3 diamonds.
Yeah.
And
He doesn't even know whose jersey it is.
He wasn't even that excited. Like, I thought this was
we got it all in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things. If you can get it in heads up in PLO with aces, you should. But it was a $6,700 pot. Like it was, all in for $3,300 pre-flop. Like it's a lot.
But like when you both turn over the hands, you're just like, well, okay.
Yeah. And Brian and I both go once, so it was My 4% showed up quite nicely right
He
there.
didn't want to open ace two when I had the double straddle on, so.
I haven't looked, but
Got an interesting hand here. Viddy and Danny with the same hand.
So the first question he asked
Yep,
you was
pair of aces and fours with a queen.
Carlos actually doing the betting. He's just like, sure, I guess I call. This is like one of those just side calls because the price is just so ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely. And Carlos, no, he loses after 2 calls.
High card 4 of the pot.
Chop, chop.
High card.
Chop, chop. Aces and fours.
He's up too
You got a
much.
stable job now. You can just come on.
Lies.
Yes, it's a stable job, but I mean, come on.
Bet jam.
I've got a friend who plays it like ace king, and God, he gets tricky. Every time it 4-7 hits, you always think he's got it.
Man,
You're like,
Dog got me in a huge one.
back in the day, I used to
Had aces.
Jedi Master 10 in chess says he got aces 7 times in a 4-hour session.
That's crazy.
Lost the first time and won the next 6.
See, that's
Oh,
nice.
that's unbelievable.
My worst story with aces like that, when I lived in Colorado, I got aces back to back to back.
Really?
Got stacked on the first one.
Yeah.
Bought in for the max on the second one.
Some guy opens.
Doubled up the second one, and then got stacked the third one. So, yeah, it was pretty good.
What a roller coaster.
What? Gutter comes
Something similar, but not even remotely close to that. Something similar. I got stacked in PLO last week, and then it was actually right before stream. And this is why I need to stop playing before stream. But not the night. It's one day long session, whatever. But I got stacked right before stream, and I was just like, I'll reload for one more. And then
We got the Robbie, right? Is that the official Robbie?
That is the official one. But I
definitely got to eat first.
decided to rebuy, and then that's when I looked. I think I mentioned the hand to you. That's when I looked down at ace ace queen 10, double suited. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I could get my money back here, and I get it all in against king 4-3 deuce, and then lost.
100 on top.
I was like, oh, that sucks.
You know, it's funny. My reputation in the PLO games here is, wow, the Jack 4.
That's a head against other.
Oh, are they blind?
That is a high card for the pot. That is high.
Did you ever find the
Whoa! Don't touch it.
Did anyone show you the window?
Oh, he's blind.
No, let me see.
Hey!
Wait, what happened?
I don't know. They were blind.
Yeah, well, I folded around.
Gotcha.
This is all your fault, Sean. If I didn't straddle nothing, this would have happened.
So this is the
Brett in the chat says, let the commentators know the broadcast was great, really enjoyed, thanks, and nice job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brett.
Kind words.
Absolutely.
If you really enjoyed it, you should definitely hit that like button, Brett. Helps the channel out a bunch. And it looks like they're about to do a flip here. Let's get back.
$100 flip?
How much?
Close out the stream here.
Oh,
sorry.
That's okay. My beard just scared me.
This 5 betrayed me last time.
But yeah, appreciate it, John, for tuning in and filling in tonight. Hope you
Thank you
enjoyed
guys
it.
for having me. Oh, it looks like it's a bomb pot. Oh, no, it's just a flip. Okay. I like to leave the turn down when I want to flip.
I always do that.
Yeah, it's like a little mini sweat.
It's a sweat for me as well.
I was dealing a big game the other day though, and it was like 3-8 deuce was the flop, and then the turn was down, and then the river was an 8, and somebody has 8 deuce in their hand that they're exposed. So it's like it wasn't even a sweat. There was like it's like very little can win. You know?
There would be like a
nobody else had an 8, right?
So let's see who wins this flip tonight. Before we head out, let's do some shout-outs here. Thank you to Tyler and Cooper doing all the in-house action tracking and production. Obviously, we can never have a stream without them working hard in the back. Let's see here. Tyler, Rena in the chat. JTM, Brett, of course, Jedi Master Ted. Poker Monkey, JD, all the regulars, of course. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to tune in tomorrow live from Austin. And then, of course, our Saturday tournament. We'll be streaming our final table this Saturday, so make sure you tune in for that. So thank you all so much.